Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 74. I am Sean, I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Sup guys, this week's Omni4Game recap, we go over both locals as always. We talk about new players and what kind of products we'd like to see to help them get into the game. We do go over our weekly reveals, catch up after we've not done that for a few weeks. And then we do comment questions. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Alright, first topic, locals recap. We will start with the Tuesday locals.
Alright, I got 4th place, somehow going X2. I was playing Shine Greymon, red base. For round 1, I played against Dino. I 2-0'd him. No. Yeah, 2-0'd him. No, 2-1, because game 2, he turbo warped into Dynamon and cleared my security real fast.
Pretty sure you also got blown out at some point because you swung and he blast evoed into an Agumon.
No, I won that game. That was game 3.
Never punished.
I had 2 routes. I could go. I did honestly forget that he could just blast Evo into it with just an Agumon on the board. I had no way of clearing... He had 2 Agumons on the board. I had no way of clearing both of them. I cleared one, and then I was just like, okay, swing for, like, game, and he was just like, okay, Agumon, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. Here's Agumon, push Marcus, swing. So, yeah. I will say, anytime he did have Dynamon on the board, which he was drawing pretty poorly, unfortunately. Games 1 and 3. When he did have Dynamon on the board, I always tried to make sure to have a smaller body next to it, just so you know that's the one that's going to get blown up. So if I remember correctly, is its smallest body that gets blown up by Dynamon. Round 2.
Suspended.
Yeah, suspended, smallest body. Round 2. I played Barbamon. I lost 2-0 against that. It just takes me too long to set up, and I was drawing really poorly. I think games 1 and 2. Game 1, I never saw level 4. And then game 2, I didn't see a level 3. No, I'm thinking of Friday night. I didn't see a level 5. So I wasn't really able to play any. And that's just how Shine Greymon and Greymon decks in general can go sometimes. Like, sometimes you just don't see your pieces. Round 3, I played against Gallant. You guys have already all watched that video, hopefully. It wasn't really even a match. I don't even know why I sat down. It was like one of the quickest matches in my entire life. I literally had to promote my level 5 to play my Marcus, and then I literally had everything I needed for the following turn. And I just had to pray Sean didn't have the line. But I've played against Sean so often at this point. I just know whenever he plays X antibody decks, he is gonna have Geo-X, Growl, Growl-X, Growlmon, Gallant. Like, I just know, like, the amount of times I've seen this man, the amount of times I've seen this man go Agu X, Gray X, Metal Gray X, War Greymon is ridiculous. It's honestly, someone should like do it. Like, get a mathematician should like figure out the odds on this. Anyways, round 4, I played against Nightmare Soldiers. I got that 2-0 as well. I actually had a pretty hard time against that matchup because if he can go into the Bolt, he can just like Diva my stack. Like, especially if I can't kill him fast enough.
Who played Nightmare Soldiers at Tuesday?
Robbie.
Oh, okay.
He was playing pure Nightmare Soldiers too. I mean, the only 2 cards that like obviously do anything in that deck are Piedmon and
Bolt Outmon.
Yeah. So yeah,
He was playing the other level 6 of the deck, the weird
Talisman?
purple green one. Yeah.
Yeah, Talisman. Yeah,
I don't know if I see. Is that normal, or is that like?
I don't think there is
Spice?
a normal, because that's not really of a good archetype.
Yeah, it's an archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very strange. I mean, the best version of it is the Dark Animal package, and it's like you could just play something better with that package. So I finished 2-2 with Shine, which it's
I'd say
gonna
that's
come
not
up
bad
again
for a deck that was for that old.
Yeah.
Sean reminded me of the BT16 Yellow Agu that I could have been playing as well with the yellow base.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that card, and I just ended up playing the red base. So
Yeah.
once I get all the cards I ordered in, I'm gonna switch to the yellow base.
Try that out.
And we get support soon.
And we're getting support. Let's go.
I guess we'll talk.
I got
about
all
that.
my cards. Got
Talk
all
about
my
that later.
cards. Got them all before they started jumping up again.
Yeah. You
That
ordered
Greymon
them
is
when
dirty.
they revealed the Koromon that night. You ordered all of them.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't wait. All right, go ahead, Brandon.
So, yeah, I've got third. Playing Ancient Gray. I finally decided to pick up Red Hybrid / Ancient Greybond. I kind of threw it together pretty quick. I was running the Uko package. After Tuesday and Friday, I ended up just cutting the Uko package and changing it. Updated deck profiles on the channel already. So round one, I played against somebody new who picked up a Vortex starter deck. So obviously most of that match was more me explaining how the game goes than him actually playing. So obviously I got that 2-0. I mean, the Vortex starter can't do anything against Ancient, like Greymon.
You could have stopped it.
That matter.
Can't do anything.
Yeah, honestly.
The deck sucks.
Yeah, unfortunate. Round two, I played against Robbie playing in SO. He did actually get game one off of me. Basically, I never saw BT17 Ancient Greymon, so I was never able to have any removal. Meaning he just went really wide, and I was just sitting there like, guess I'll die. And I wasn't able to ever actually like go into an Ancient combo at all. I don't think the entirety of that match. So I was basically just playing hybrids with level 4s only. It was really stupid. But the 3, obviously I see my pieces, I see my stuff, and I just kill them really fast. How the deck is supposed to operate, crazy. Round 3, I played against Ben playing Barbara X. Game 1 and 2, I just really chewed through his security as I should with that deck. Kind of just locked him out of the game too, because I was able to go into a ruin mode. Locking him out of being able to promote and do anything that turn. Plus, you know, just it's ruin mode. You know how it is. If you go on top of your Ancient, your 17 Ancient, it dies into turn anyway. So you get the double proc. You don't get the recovery or anything like that because that attack.
End of
but
attack.
You're still, you're still -2, 10K'ing your opponent's board. So round 4, I played against Sean. Gameplay's on the channel. If you want to see how that went.
It is riveting match.
Yeah, my rookie lived. I got punished for it. He bricks game 2.
Yeah, relatively speaking, yeah, it was a brick.
Yeah, and I was just able to kill him. It was the one game I was actually able to keep my board clear, so I couldn't just get hard punished. He tried to scramble, and I was just like, no, get that out of here.
It wouldn't have mattered, thankfully.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I was doing it because I knew the game was over. I should have just been going to game 3.
Yeah, and then game 3.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
They're literally. I knew for a fact the game was over. I don't know why I was just going through the motions. I was wasting time.
Yeah, and then game 3 again. My rookie dared to live his security check, so I got Omega punished, Ultra OTK'd by turn 3. That was fun. So that was my night.
I came in first playing Gallon X OTK. Some of the gameplay and the deck profiles on the channel, obviously. Round 1 played against Beals, which is actually not a good matchup for me because I'm not playing Crimson mode, and I'm not playing the BT17 Gallant that is immune from options. So, like, if I check a removal option security, it's gonna kill me.
Over.
Yeah, so it was probably the worst matchup in the room for me, and I got paired with it round 1, and I was like, dang. I checked an option. It was like the second or third check with my Gallon X on my first promote and swing. And it was a Death Slinger, and he already had 20 cards in his trash at that point, and it killed me.
Damn.
and I was like, and that set me just too far behind. It was kind of a close game, but I was never able to like stabilize and kill him before he was able to lethal me. And I was like, dang, my night ends like this. And then dodge removal into security games 2 and 3. Game 3, I checked arrivals as the last check for my Gallon X, and it just floated into a Gilmon X because I went in, I evoed up into it that turn, and I just played a second rookie to put him to like 2 memory, and he literally there's nothing in his deck that could clear that because he wasn't promoting out a raising or anything, so like he had 2 memory, and he just could not out 2 bodies with 2 memory, and I was like, I win! Then round 2, played against Belfie. That game plays on the channel. Easy 2-0. That was kind of a meme deck. AJ just wanted to build it because it's his favorite Demon Lord. He played correctly, but that deck is just not good enough for like the current meta. Round 3, played against Shine. Gameplay's also on the channel. Swift 2-0, easy peasy. Round 4, 2-1 Brandon, Ancient Grey. Gameplay's also on the channel. Thank you. Gameplay. Yeah, I mean, there were games that were being played.
Yeah.
And then came in first.
Games of solitaire.
I mean, yeah, that's how I view OTK decks as. They're solitaire decks.
Yeah.
I don't like OTKs exist in the game, but it doesn't mean I won't play them.
Yeah, that mean you won't do it.
Yeah.
It's not my fault they exist. Footage.
Yeah.
Caught in 4K. Man, is that what it feels like whenever I just promote Where Garu and just killed you guys back in the day?
Yeah, it's exactly how it felt, Brandon. It's like, oh, such a cool non-game. I really enjoyed this interactive gameplay.
Man, that's crazy.
I haven't even promoted my Greymon out of raising yet. I'm dead.
Yep.
Nah, one of my favorite things was whenever they did promote their Greymon stack and it was post BT11, and I would just snipe their protection out with that 2-cost blue option card. He was like, is that how that works? Reads it. So stupid.
Anyways, on to our second round of locals now at TBS.
Friday locals.
Yep. I also got 4th place again, going 2-2.
Hey, consistency. Let's go.
I had the highest opponent's match win percentage somehow.
Just a terrible.
Or I was.
Why. We know
everyone I played against, I guess, did super well.
Did you play against Ben?
Yeah.
So you played against... Oh, you didn't play against me, did you? No, I didn't play you. Okay.
Yeah, when Bram was looking at the list, it was like opponent's match win percentage. It was like Chris... I was almost at 70%. It was crazy, I guess. I think that's honestly what put me to 4th place. So round 1, I played against Beelzemon. 2-0'd him. I'm just able to set up fast enough and kill him before he can kill me. There's not much else that can be said about that. I have DP neg, I just blow up his stuff. I do think he said he misplayed game 1. He forgot he had put 7th full cluster in his trash. He'd forgot he milled it. And so he could have potentially won game 1. And that's why I like the way Ben fans out his trash, because he can always like see what's in there. With Tyler, he
so you can just immediately spot it.
Yeah. Tyler just does stacks of 10 and just like stacks them on top of each other.
So he forgot the 7th full cluster was in there. He could have potentially... He said he could have probably killed me. I think it would have left me at 0 security, but he didn't have another way to swing at me. Round 2, I played against Mirage. I think that one was 2-1. I don't know what it is with Will in this deck. He just draws super poorly, maybe. Because, like, I think he only saw Mirage, like, 1 or 2 times. But the thing is, too, he also went into burst mode. Like, he hard evoed into it when I only had, like, 7 cards in hand. And I'm like, you got no value. I immediately, like, promoted my stack. And I was like, kill it. I was like, okay, it's dead now. Like, I just did my whole little shtick. And I'm like, okay, bye.
Bye, come again.
So, yeah. So I ended up getting that one as well.
Do you guys still have 4 Mirage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 alt arts, 2 regular arts.
And not... I thought it was 2
What,
alt art,
Sean?
3 regular.
No, it's 3 alt arts, 2 regular arts.
Oh, whatever.
I wonder if maybe I'll
And then
put
we
that
also-
up for the members only. Maybe play Mirage Friday if it wins.
And then
Just
we have
pure Mirage.
We have like 3
I don't think I've
burst
ever
mode
played it
alt arts
before.
as well.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
played
anyways.
Gal-
Yeah. I mean, I don't think... I mean, sure, if you want Lord Nightmon to win, that's the way to do it.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I could play Lord Nightmon again.
Stop voting on his polls, guys. He just puts 2 decks that he wants to play, but he knows specifically one deck's gonna win. So
I
he's
don't know.
fooling you guys. He's fooling you guys.
I'm not
okay?
fooling anybody. I don't
He's
know which
fooling you
one's gonna
guys.
win.
He knows exactly what's gonna win.
You vote in
Anyways.
them, telling people not to vote in them.
You're right, I do. Round 3, I played against Ben, playing Purple Hybrid. He ended up getting that one, 2-1. Game 3, I got really stingy. I only saw 1 level 3. And then Digivolved in the Raising, and I ended up seeing another one, and I got really stingy. And because I was hard playing them, like turn 1. Because the thing with Shine Greymon is sometimes, like, going first, or even, like, your second, like, turn play is really awkward sometimes. Because you want to promote your stack and go into like Geo and play out your Tamer for free, but sometimes you just don't have the Tamer or you don't have the Geo, so it's like... Anyway, so turn 1, I literally like would hard play the Agumon, searched out 4 cards, 3 of them being rookies and then something else. So I'm like, okay, that's 4 of my 12 rookies gone. Right, the one on the field and 3 more. And then I draw for turn, I see another one, I'm like, oh, I go never punish. But I still wanting to dig a little bit more, want to search pieces a little bit more, so I hard play that one again. And yeah, I just got a little stingy because I know I have to see my pieces and set up as quickly as possible to try and kill Ben, and just hope that, you know, like he can't, you know, kill me before I can set up. Well, and anyways, that ends up biting me in the butt. He ends up getting that one, 2-1. It was a really fun matchup. I think we went into time, but he was killing me like on his following turn just as we entered time. Or we had like 4 minutes till time, and they wouldn't let me stall for 4 minutes.
He looked up at me and he's like, "How much time do we have left?" And I was like, "You'd have to take this turn for 4.5 minutes and then survive 2 of his turns."
Yeah, which wasn't happening. And then round 4, I played against Brandon, who was playing Red Hybrid. And as we just found out, Brandon cheated me, and he shouldn't have won.
I mean, no, the game was still over.
It's a pretty bad matchup for me if he just opens up like halfway decently, because he can just rush me down really quick.
Yeah,
because I'm playing the Shine Greymon burst mode, so like, you know, like I can kill people, but like it's like it takes some setup. Like I gotta have a couple cards.
No defense because you're not playing any ruin modes.
None. I'm trying to kill you. Hold on. I will say there was I forgot to bring it up against Mirage. You shut up, Brand. You talk about when it's your turn. There was a game against Will when he was playing Mirage. I legitimately hard dropped Shine Greymon Burst Mode Ace, blew up his stack, and then proceeded to just kill him with that card because he had no answer for it. None. Like I played it, and it allows you to play another Tamer, right?
Yeah.
And I literally go, my following turn, I'm like, okay, swing with like 3 checks. And he's like, what do you mean 3 checks? I was like, I got 2 Tamers, I suspend, I swing for a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
And literally that card just proceeded to kill him super quick because he had no answer for it. He had no way to get it off the board. It was hilarious. It just was like, shoot, maybe I need to just start hard dropping this a lot sooner and just doing this to people.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, that was pretty fun. Alright, go ahead, Brand.
Alright, fine. So my round 1, I played against Will playing Mirage.
Oh, internet went down.
Bye, Brandon.
I guess we'll talk to him later.
All right. Anyway, so round 1 played against Will. I actually lost 1-2. So game 1 I lost because I literally never saw an Ancient Greymon. So again, I'm just playing level 4 Rush. Whoop-de-doo. Game 2 he bricked, so I just, of course, saw my stuff, so I just killed him real quick. And then game 3 I missed into my final turn. I kind of just forgot he had a Hexplow on the board. So, of course, when you're using the Ancient Greymon engine, you're supposed to swing with your level 4. Obviously, I can't swing with my level 4 if Hexplow's on the board telling me I can't suspend. So I basically did the play, did all the and the evos, and I'm like 2 or 3 cards deep into my deck doing all these evos and stuff before he looked at me and goes, "Oh, you can't suspend." And I was like, you're right. Well, I've already done it. I've already committed to it. Fine. And so then I lose the game because
You've drawn
obviously,
if I'm that far in, I'm just like, hey, you missed it too, bud.
yeah. At that point, yeah.
Irreparable game state.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I drew like three cards.
I don't know. I didn't even think about what I would have done.
What would you do in that situation, Sean? You just call it a tie?
No, because it technically is
Game
both
lost
of your
3.
faults.
Yeah, it's both players' faults.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess because it is his Hexplow.
Yeah, it's his effect keeping you from suspending. I'm not sure what would have happened because like there's no way to. You could attempt to repair the game state.
I mean, the repairing of the game state is I paid 1 extra memory and unsuspended
It's the cards you drew. I think you'd have to take random cards from your hand and put them back on top of your deck.
That was fun.
Well, anyway. So basically, I ruined my own final turn by forgetting Hexplow made it to where I couldn't suspend.
You did.
And I was just like, whatever, them's the breaks. So I lost that match. Because my original plan was to pop the body he had on the board with the Ancient, and then clear his second body with the swing itself, but obviously I couldn't swing. It was a whole thing. Anyway. Then round 2, I played against Tyler playing Beals. Game 1 and 2, I literally just set it up to where he had 0 security, and he had to OTK me. If you can't OTK me, cool, I just swing with my hybrid next turn for game. And both games, that's how that worked. Because he was never fully prepared, and I was just like, well, your security's gone, so...
Sounds really interactive and fun.
I mean, yeah, if he would have had... been able to OTK me, it would have been very interactive.
Oh, trust me, I thought it was very fun when he promoted a level 4 and he goes, okay, there's 4 of your security gone by.
It's just funny that he complains about getting OTK'd when he's playing Red Hybrid.
Yeah.
It'd be like
it's only okay when I do it.
Well, you're promoting a level 3
and
gaining like 6 to 7 memory in a turn. And it's ridiculous.
How many cool boys does he have on the board? Jesus.
When he did it to me, 2.
2 cool boys, and he had 2 dudes on the field that I could pop.
Yeah. So, F me sideways.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Round 3, I played against Todd. He was playing Jessmon. The only notes for this are, and I quote, AJ made Todd play a bad deck. Therefore, it is his fault.
Yes. It 100% is.
AJ lost Todd the entirety of the tournament.
He paid for his entry, so I guess it's fine.
I mean, listen, if paying $6 versus getting my butt handed to me for 4 straight hours is like the trade-off here,
and a deck he didn't even know. He didn't even know the deck. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Todd had no idea how the deck worked.
He had to read every single one of his cards. Like, it was like he had... Yeah, it was... It was a tall ask.
If it was a deck,
it was a deck you were like familiar with somewhat, it'd be different. But yeah, Todd was literally having to read every single card in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So 2-0. AJ, bad deck. How dare you?
Yes, I agree.
Round 4, I played against Chris. Obviously, we already talked about how I got that one 2-1. Game 1 had an opportunity to kill me if he would have seen a normal Rise Greymon, but all he had was Rise X. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
Game 2, he actually did have the burst in hand to stop my lethal play, because I had multiple hybrids set up, and I was like, swing, 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 because I couldn't get into an Ancient to pop his stack, so I just had to hope all of my swings could get through, and obviously he burst Evos on the final swing, and I can't kill him. Sag. Game 3, this is where it is a Chet, to be fair, but had I realized what I was doing wrong, it's literally just this versus that. So I evoed on top of the secret rare Greymon with Ruin Mode. I Ruin Mode on top of that one. Obviously, that's a legal play.
Illegal.
I had the BT.
His MacBook's updating again.
So, anyways, to get us back on track, Brandon won round 4 against me, even though he cheated. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I should have just evoed into BT-17. I had 2 of them in hand. It would have left you 1 extra security, but like you
Brandon,
were negative K on your board.
Brandon, stop talking before your MacBook tries to update again, okay? Let's go, Sean.
Yeah,
All right. So Friday night at locals, I took Mommy Control, which won this past week's members only poll. Really fun deck. It's actually really fun to play. Quite the opposite of boring, actually.
It's just because you play aces and you like those aces.
It's just fun. I like all the interactions.
all the
are just
aces
really
you
fun.
play.
Yeah.
What interactions? Turn card sideways, ace, or hard play ace, or hard play Magna, ace,
or medieval Gallimon.
You just like the cards.
Yeah,
you just like the cards.
It's fun.
You don't like the interactions. You like the cards.
I would argue.
I
would argue it's the most interactive kind of deck.
No. I'm saying you don't. You're saying you like the interact.
Yeah.
No. You just like the cards you're playing.
That is also true. I do like the cards that I'm playing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't play them. Duh.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of salty Friday night, like almost the whole night. Basically the whole night, actually. Because round 1, it's the content creator side of me that was like slightly annoyed. Round 1, I played against Todd, who was literally handed a Jesmon deck by AJ, and AJ was like, hey, if you play this, I'll pay for your entry. Like 5 minutes before the tournament started. So Todd is, having to read all of his cards and figure out what they do, which is fine. I don't care about that part. It's the fact that it's basically a non-match, because one, it's a pretty bad version of Jesmon, and I told AJ this, because like I was looking at some of the cards that Todd had in the deck, and I was just like, those are bad, don't play those.
How many GXs did he have?
I don't know, I didn't ask him that part, but I was looking at like the rookies and stuff, and I was like, there's no reason to play those. Like, you shouldn't be playing this many rookies, because like you're playing that many Huckmons on top of the sisters. Like, I can't imagine how many bricks that is.
Yeah. Typically you only play like 8 rookies in that deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing at least 12.
Yeah, you just play the 4 searching ones, which is crazy that card is still as good as it is. It's like the best. It might be one of the best searchers in the entire game.
It's definitely up there. It searches top 5 for 2 pieces, and it searches itself.
I mean, it's literally right up there with the Blazing Memory Boost. Is that what the card's called?
Yeah, the one for
Air one.
Yeah, top 6 search flare. 2 play free tamer.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But unfortunately for Todd, I play Medieval Gallimon in my deck.
Great card.
And Jesmon, unfortunately for Jesmon, it requires them to play Sistermons in order to get stuff to happen for them that's beneficial. And so basically I just kept putting a Medieval Gallimon. Well, I put a Medieval Gallimon on the field game 1 and game 2, and it never left the field. If that tells you how that match went. I mean, he tried his best, but there wasn't really much he could do. Like that deck just auto loses to Medieval Gallantmon.
Yeah, it's a pretty fair and balanced card.
Yeah. Round 2, this is when I got annoyed. Round 2, a new guy at our locals, which is awesome. Always happy to have new people at our locals. Was playing with one of the starter decks because I think he said he had cards, but he just like didn't have them with him, so he just like pulled out a starter deck and he was playing with that just to, play. All fine and dandy. But I got paired down to play him.
What starter deck was it?
It was the Jesmon starter deck. So I got paired down to play him, and I was like, this is not going to be content at all. I'm not even going to record this. There's no reason to. Obviously won that 2-0. Literally nothing happened on his side of the field. It was very one-sided. I forgot he was actually playing the Jesmon starter deck. If that tells you how the match went, because of how nothing happened on his side of the field, basically.
Wait, there's more.
There's more. Round 3, I get even more annoyed because I get paired down a second round in a row I'm undefeated, and I get paired down again against Nature Spirits, which I'm like, okay, I mean, this is a meme deck.
Okay.
Dante does stuff, but like,
yeah,
he's not. I don't think Dante is. As far as I know, has only played at our locals, so like, I don't think he has any experience versus like control type decks like that to really know like how to play into them.
I think he's played against my black hybrid one, but like that's a completely different version to yours.
Yeah, yours is a lot different. Mine is just straight up like every card in my hand is probably removal or recovery and removal at the same time. Yeah, I won that 2-0. I'm unsure if I even want to post the Jesmon match or the Nature Spirits match, just because like
the Nature Spirits, I think you could post the Nature Spirits one because I think people would. I bet you if you threw that on a poll, people would vote for it because people would just want to see it get played. It's just one of those decks where it's like, hey, I just want to see this deck get played.
Yeah,
you know I mean, because like it doesn't get played.
He did stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't get played like ever. Like I don't see a whole lot of content on like. I think those are the decks that people want to see, or like the ones that, at least it's like the ones I click on. Like if it's like
the casual hybrid decks that don't have enough support.
Yeah, if I see Red Hybrid versus Mirage, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that. Like I know both those decks. Yeah. If I see like Nature Spirits versus like some other off meta deck like Birds or something, I'm like, yeah, of course I want to watch that. Like I just want to see these two decks get played.
Yeah, so maybe I'll post that. But yeah, that was like, it was like a twofold. Like I keep getting paired down. It is hurting my tiebreakers. Also,
you won't stop yelling at me.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell, Brandon? Because Brandon is doing the pairings. Also, I'm not getting good content in my opinion because I'm getting paired down. And I know that I'm probably on a crash course with Ben in the finals, and I know I don't have a good matchup versus him because we tested earlier in the week. And I'm like, if my tiebreakers are this bad, like, and when I lose, I'm not gonna even come in second. I'm just gonna get like knocked down like third or fourth. So anyways, get paired with Ben, who's undefeated in the finals. I actually misplayed, and I probably could have won game 1, but I just am dumb and bad and basically handed him the game. Game 2, I forced him to deck me out through like 32 cards or something like that.
Yeah, it was 30. It was 33 because I remember because of how many times he kept asking how many cards were left in your deck, and you literally kept telling him, Ben, you can't deck me out again. Don't ask me again, because he asked you like 3 different times. And you were like, don't ask Ben, don't ask me again. And then he did it, and I'm like, oh.
It's
Because I thought it was Jover when you hard dropped the Imperial Digimon. I was like, oh, Ben's lost now. Like
Paladin mode.
Sean's good. He's like he's reset his deck, and then Ben's like, how many cards do you have in deck? And you count, and you're like, because you were so annoyed, you're like,
because he kept asking me, like he asked me like almost
Yeah,
it was like playing against a Mirage player, except for it's way more annoying to pick up your deck and count the deck each time.
yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot more cards to count. And you did it, and then I look over and you're picking up your cards, and I'm like, what happened? Yeah, he decked me out, and I'm like, whoa, jeez, Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, literally with like Ripple.
He like quadruple Velgard me in one turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he was able to recycle it with the calling.
Yeah.
Because he kept recycling the calling with the mat.
Yeah.
And it just it was a.
And he had enough jack and stuff.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that he started the turn off with like 7 memory, right? Because you'd hard drop the Imperial.
It was more than that actually, but yeah, I was part of my downfall was my hubris there a little bit because I played a Tamer and then Paladin moded because I was like so confident he couldn't deck me. So I gave him extra memory for literally no reason because I didn't have to play that Tamer.
It also didn't help.
Just on the Paladin, you think you're in a much better spot?
I think he probably still could have decked me. I can't remember exactly how much memory he had left when he did it, but it definitely didn't help. It didn't help me. Yeah, it would have been closer.
It also doesn't help that the deck you're playing, you have so many Tamers out and like so much stuff out on the board. He can literally make it to where like you have every single color. So he's milling. He was milling what 7 cards a time.
Yeah,
6 or 7.
I think in the future, moving forward with that matchup, I think the correct route is maybe just going Shoto Mother if I even see Shoto, and they're just not playing any other card.
Yeah,
just let him sit there and do his thing.
Yeah,
you just have 2 cards on board.
Yeah. And I might put like 1 card on the field, maybe, and I'll never Evo past a level 5, and I'll swing it to security until it dies.
Yeah, because he'll deck himself out before he can kill you, right?
Yeah. Because he was drawing way more cards than me, and he's also milling both of us on top of it. So yeah, I will watch him deck out. So
and if you ever get close, you just play the Imperial.
Yeah, the Paladin mode.
At that point, wouldn't he just change his strategy to okay? Now I'm just gonna run.
I don't think he could though. That's the thing.
Multiple Tamers, multiple hybrids, multiple like level 3s.
I don't think he could kill me.
You don't think he can get 6 swings through?
No, because I mean I can recover. It's not like it's once he does damage to me, it's permanent.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think I shouldn't be just willy-nilly playing things on the field just because I can.
Versus, like having like all of your Digimon Emperors.
Yeah, because all those Tamers you were playing out were just like fodder against him for like
he kept
color changing
the colors. Yeah,
you had every color on board.
Yeah, he was milling like 6 and 7 cards at a time at one point with the Velgars. So yeah, I think if with more experience, that matchup won't feel as like one-sided as it did. But yeah, he milled me up both games. I think that's his only win condition versus me. I don't think he actually can kill me. So I lost that, and then went to the bathroom, annoyed because I was like, my tiebreakers are so bad. There's no way I'm coming in second. And then I come out of the bathroom and Brandon's sitting there, and he's like, somehow you still got second. And I was like, you're lying.
No, I think it's just because my tiebreakers were just as awful.
I mean, it's obviously why, but yeah, thankfully, Brandon, I don't think you played against the guy playing the starter deck, did you?
No, I played against Will.
So you dodged him, but somehow your tiebreakers are still worse than mine, which was surprising.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Will did anything else for the rest of the tournament. I don't think he got any more wins. I don't think Robbie
wasn't even there. Don't blame Robbie.
No, not
innocent
Robbie.
Mad.
Oh, and you lost to Will, right?
Yeah.
So that's what screwed you, is because you lost to Will.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and I lost to the undefeated.
That would definitely be the issue.
Okay. Yeah, I was certain that I wasn't coming in second, but anyway, I came in second. was kind of annoyed that it didn't really, in my opinion, get great content, but I am going to play it tomorrow night at Tuesday Locals. Maybe I'll get some better matches then. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to that.
I don't mind playing against that kind of stuff.
I don't either. I like playing against it.
My only issue ever was when people play that style of deck, but they're also just like...
Taking 10 years per turn?
Yeah. That's like, come on, you play one card per turn.
That is very... Yeah, you're taking one action. How hard is it to take that action?
Please pick one.
I need to know which Magna Angemon I'm going to play.
I got the normal art and I got the alt art. Wait, so they're not even... They're not even different.
Difficult.
No, it's the same card.
I could also play a Tamer. Yeah. People that go into time with security control decks are bad.
Brandon, how close is your bag?
My what?
Your bag with all your stuff.
Oh, to me right now, it's in the kitchen. It's pretty far.
I wanted you to see how many BT1 Magna Angemons we have. I'm just going to throw together Sean's list and hope we get paired tomorrow.
Do you have 4 medieval gallants?
No, I only have 2.
Got you there. He's got you there.
2.
I knew you didn't because you'd already told me the other day you didn't have 4.
Yeah, my medieval. Mine. Alright, I have 2 more. Alright, you got it.
You win. You win. You won the medieval war.
I need to get...
I don't think you have all the cards for it.
I don't have that Tamer. I don't have that one Tamer you were playing.
Do you have 4 Valks?
Yeah.
Do you have 4 Shadows?
Shadow.
Yes. I got them for Black Hybrid.
Do you have 4 Crimson modes?
I have 3. See, I'm missing a couple cards.
Damn, looks like you can't net deck me. You'll have a watered down version if we play against each other.
You can play 3 Crimson and 1 Shine Burst.
There you go.
I already played 2 Shine Bursts, so you'd have to play 3 Shine Bursts.
3 Shine Bursts.
I only have 2. Damn it!
You probably want a Paladin mode, right?
We have 2 Paladins.
Okay.
You just have to sub in some copies of like Death X or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Death X is not that good, by the way.
No, not at the moment.
No, it's like not good in that deck because you're clearing your opponent's stuff like every single turn.
Oh yeah, fair.
It just doesn't. It never gets to the point where it's that cheap.
I mean, unless they play Tamers.
Yeah, but like they have one dude on the field with like 5 Tamers. Like, who cares? I'm just gonna play not one of the other guys.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just build the deck, throw it together, and then we could do the double highlight where it's Sean and Chris are both playing the deck as the highlight. Who plays the deck better?
It's Sean. He has 4 medievals. I don't.
I don't think you would like playing that version. You didn't seem to enjoy playing that Black Hybrid version.
No, I like playing that deck.
Did you?
It is a little... Yeah, it's a little bit boring, but it's hilarious and fun.
You just said it was boring.
Bro, right?
No, I still enjoy it, but it's like... It's like not very interactive against my opponent. My opponent would be like, okay, well, I can't swing at you because I have this. Like, it's fun. It's fun, don't get me wrong. And it's very awesome going Hatch, play Shoto. Go ahead. Like, that's such a good feeling.
It is. You feel.
I like
safe.
the deck. I like Shadow Seraphing people. That card's really fun.
It's very powerful.
Very powerful.
The Evo 3 is very good.
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that tomorrow.
What, your version or a watered down version?
Yeah, I'm gonna play Black Hybrid tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I win that matchup real hard.
With my two medievals.
Okay. I hope we play against each other. I will kill you so quickly. I have way more win conditions. Your win condition is decking people out. Mine is killing people.
It is not. I can kill people.
How many games did you win by clearing all their security when you played that deck?
Most of them. It's true. In most of the games I win with that deck is by just killing them. Yes, did I deck out a couple people? Sure. Okay, there were some 101s in there, but that's only because it was grinding out. Okay, but I can win with that deck.
I never won by decking anybody out. I always killed them.
You just lose to decking out.
Yeah, that's my lose condition is decking out, not my win condition. So annoying.
Most of my losses, I think the 2 or 3 times I've played that deck at locals, I always have one loss, one match loss. It's always to Brandon if he brings the secret
Omni.
Melga.
Yeah, the secret Melga just stuns your Shotos, and you're like, I'm defenseless.
He's just like, and I'm like, I can't do nothing now.
Yeah, because you don't have any recovery in your list, do you? Yeah, I would win that. Damage is not permanent for me.
We need a yellow black Magna Angemon that has recovery.
We probably will get one at some point.
Alright, Brandon, go ahead and talk about that thing you wanted to talk about.
Alright.
Something I think we've talked about already.
That's not how you spell that word. There we go. Brandon, are you frozen? Oh my god, he's been frozen the whole time. I thought he was just quietly listening to us talk.
I was, for the most part. Then I realized, I can't hear them talk anymore. What happened?
Jeez.
Yo, your computer sucks.
I'm telling you.
Alright, so new player products.
Yeah, I have a real tizzy about this.
Great. The person who could crash down at any moment.
Yes. Alright, spit it out, Brandon, before your computer crashes again.
Spit it out, stupid. Yeah, so I've noticed, this has happened several times now, we will have people come to our locals as new players. They will buy a starter deck thinking it is a wise investment, get brutally O2'd the entirety of the night, and then we will almost never see them again. And I think if we had a better new player product than whatever the hell they keep printing as these starter decks, like the Puppet starter deck, the Vortex starter deck, the Jesmon, the Ragna, they're all pretty trash.
Yes, they are.
Like the only deck I think we have had that was truly like new player friendly, you can pick it up and actually compete, were the 2 advanced decks. I mean, obviously Bunnies has been power crept out to where even buying that, you're not doing well.
Yeah, but that still has cards that are extremely good nowadays.
Yeah, you have 2 cards in there. You have the Rapid, you have the Mega Gargo, both super solid cards.
Yeah.
Like even the Typhoon. Typhoon's a pretty good card. And then Beals is Beals. You don't have your Beals X's, right? That's not in there.
It's not, no.
Okay, yeah. So you need to get Beals X, but he comes with the reprint of the X antibody option. Awesome. Like you have a deck right there ready to go, and with
isn't Rivals in that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with like some small additions to the deck, you can legitimately have a pretty decent tier 2 deck. Like, or I wouldn't say 1.5, tier 2. But like every starter deck they have printed is just not that good. Like the All-4 starter deck, the Gallant starter deck, they were bad when they came out. The only reason to get those is because I'm pretty sure they came with the memory boost and for the warping rookies, right?
Memory boost, warping rookies, and some people liked the security Digimon and certain things.
Oh, the Cordramon and the Geo Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you look at the starter decks after that. The only starter deck I think has actually come out and was legitimately really, really good when it came out was Imperial. Because we got the level 5 DNA.
Yeah.
Even Mostamon was bad.
Yeah.
But Imperial was the only starter deck. Yeah, Imperial was the only starter deck that on release was actually viable. And like, what do you guys think we need to do to make a new player product? Because I had some ideas pitching, but I want to hear from you guys first. What kind of product would you pitch to make a new player product? Something that somebody can pick it up and then actually do okay with.
Listen, this is the problem. That's a problem in every card game. There's like,
I would disagree.
You can't. Brandon, what can you buy in any other card game where you immediately have a deck you could take to a locals and like compete in?
Apparently in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just dropped the Blue Eye starter deck that if you buy 3 of them is basically a tier 1 strat ready to go.
Just 3 of those starter decks?
Apparently Blue Eyes is like tier 1 right now, and this starter deck is
allegedly?
Allegedly, it comes with reprints of cards that you need for the strat. I think the only thing you don't get is like your generic extra deck monsters, but you get the extra deck monsters that are needed for the strat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it you buy some of those and then you take the certain cards out of it and put in an actual good deck, or is it you? But you just said you're missing the extra deck cards. Am I missing the couple $100 extra deck cards I'm gonna need?
That's because Yu-Gi-Oh has the extra deck where it's a generic toolbox that you can have a Swiss Army knife in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we don't have that, so we can't really compare.
It's not gonna come out and be like, oh, here's 15 unique extra deck cards that might come up in this. But like, okay, here's another thing. Look at Pokemon. What does Pokemon do? They have starter decks that are actual lists used in tournaments that top major events. Imagine if we had a product like that, where it could come with like a generic Mirage deck with maybe some cool reprints in it. Like, but instead we're getting these... Sorry, go ahead.
They have those, but those are not tournament legal. I just want to say that. That is really cool that they have those. I love that product. Me and my wife sometimes will buy those World Championship decks and play each other, but those are not tournament legal.
The same with Magic. I think I could be wrong with this, but I think Magic's like that too. Don't they have like don't they have a product you can buy that include cards from like World Championship tournaments?
I don't know. I don't mess with Magic like that.
I'm saying we're playing a game in an internal format like Yu-Gi-Oh! So why don't we get a product like that from like what Pokemon does, where they take like
the BLs and the 2 advanced decks were like kind of like that.
He means like a tournament proven deck. Like even if it was full of cards that weren't tournament legal, like at least a new player could buy that. You better say I love you, Chris. You better say it.
You better do
thank you. All right, love you. Thank you. She bought me this panda bear.
That is very...
Oh, it was bought for her.
Oh, okay. Wow. Re-gifting.
Why do I want it? You re-gifting this to me? Who got this for you?
Michelle.
Her secret admirer.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You better get your redemption. People in the comments were roasting you last week.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk about the conspiracy that pandas aren't real. You guys want to talk about that?
They are real. What conspiracy?
Yeah, they're dudes. Oh, there was a conspiracy going around that pandas weren't real.
I'm sure it was started by the same trolls who started the Flat Earth movement.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Anyways.
Imagine we got a product that reprinted a tournament used deck. It doesn't have to be 1-for-1. Like you could, like let's say, for example, take Mirage, and you get a new alt-art version of Mirage, nice and textured, with that really bad starter deck texture that we got with like all the other
Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah. And maybe like a copy or 2 of Burst Mode. It's a really great way to get product like that is played in the market, so somebody could walk up, buy 2 of them, because we always have to buy 2 of our starter decks, and it would be tournament ready to go.
Well, listen, don't get me wrong. I agree that there's a problem with trying to get new players into the game. It's very difficult to jump into any game that you didn't like start with. Like it's like very hard to find a jumping off point. Like what cards do you need to get? Like because the older the sets are of the card that you need to get, the higher chances that card's gonna be more expensive, especially if it's like
Not being printed anymore?
Yeah, not getting printed anymore. I mean, yeah, the starter decks could definitely be better, like way better.
Yes, they could.
Like you said, like the last good starter deck that you could honestly pick up and like play was Beelzemon.
Well, that's an advanced deck. Different.
Yeah.
The only starter deck we had that you could pick up and play was Imperial.
Yeah.
That's literally the only
so those
one.
need to be better. There needs to be actual, like, it was cool that they put in like the memory boost, and that's also where we got the trainings, right? Is in one of those like starter decks or something, or was that like a booster?
You got those in BT14 Box Topper.
Yeah,
Box
we got
Topper.
reprints in the.
Oh, okay.
In the Vortex.
So like that's cool and all, but I think that there definitely need to be different cards that they're reprinting and putting in some of this stuff to just help expedite that. Where it's like, hey, here's some staple cards that could go in everything. But I guess that's also what's kind of difficult about Digimon is because we have all the color system. It's like hard to be like, oh well, we'll just select these cards to put in there. Like not everything can go in every deck.
They've already shown they're willing to do that. We did it with both of the advanced decks. Both of the advanced decks had extra bonus promo cards that were nice reprints. We got the X Antibody Altart. We even got a unique card. We got the Magnamon. We got Starter Deck Magna.
It also didn't help that it seemed like the one thing that they tried to print to help, or not help, but like bring people in and I guess help new players, they butchered. They absolutely goofed up and ruined an entire set. Just that didn't help. Honestly, I don't know, outside of what we've already talked about before, like tins or just like some kind of mini boxes, like half boxes. Like what was that last one we just had?
The limited set.
The limited set, like doing more stuff like that where it's like half booster boxes, but it's just like
reprints
of like core cards that like people can pick up and play.
So like Japan's version of the limited set for them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not our
exactly.
Version. Yeah.
Protoform and analog.
And
outside of that, it's really hard to just pick up most card games and just play when you're not in, jumping in. Because, I mean, sure, people could jump in right now and just buy 2.5, but like they're still going to be missing a lot of cards.
Yeah.
And that sucks because like what are they going to do, buy one booster box and not have any of the cards they need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're jumping into a card game, I think it is probably a good rule of thumb. Buy singles until you're actually in the game, and once you're in the game, then start buying product.
Yeah.
Like boxes and stuff. But like, what I was also considering as a separate product is imagine you got a starter deck, right? But it came with extras. Like, oh, this is a starter deck for this strategy. Here are a couple of packs that could pull you some cards that support said strategy. Like, imagine the Beal starter deck gave you some packs that had the opportunity to pull Blast Mode or X Antibody, Beal's X. So you're getting them some packs to pull with their cards that are from sets that could potentially help their deck out.
They actually did that for the first, I think it was just the first wave of starter decks. Starter decks 1 through 3, they had packs in them. They had one pack.
Yeah, you had packs in them. Keep doing that. Make it more of like a cool, flashy display thing where like, oh, here's a starter deck, and then here's a display where you get a bunch of packs. That's cool.
I think that they need to stop using the starter decks as well as like ways to introduce new strategies and like stuff like that. Instead, they could actually make them like decent decks. Like that's how they introduced Vortex, Cinderella,
Overclock.
Yeah, they introduced DNA that way. What other ones?
I think if they're gonna introduce something like that, they need to make them good enough to where like it's actually playable.
Aces. I bet you both forgot about those two starter decks. Those
God, I did. Yes.
Trash. Yeah. Both of those decks are trash. The Black War Greymon and the Purple Metal Garurumon. Both those starter decks are trash.
I forgot.
The
all
only
about
reason
those
you
decks.
pick up those decks were, well, the black one for the Tamer. Let's just say Ty is the best card in that deck, and then for the purple one, it's because you needed a new level 5 Ngaru, and the level 6 was nice because you could Evo for free, but it wasn't even because it was an ace. It's because you Evo'd for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how they introduced ace cards to us. Like first is like through that starter deck, and it's kind of like they're just bad. Like imagine if those decks were actually viable.
Yeah,
Like they just need to find they need to stop introducing their new mechanics through the starter decks. And if they are going to do that, they actually have to make the decks like decent. I'm not saying they have to be like tier 1 busted like decks, but it's like at least if I buy 2 of these, like Brandon's saying with the blue eyes, if you buy the amount you need to buy to put them together and make an actual deck, like they can actually compete. Because you can't buy 2 of any of those starter decks right now and then like be like, oh, I can compete.
No.
Like you can't do that.
The thing is,
I'd feel better about
every
buying 2
starter
of the
deck-
Imperial starter decks over anything else.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, the problem is, like, with these starter deck strategies they've been releasing, they're almost always aligned to be supplemented by a set releasing close to them.
Mhm.
Like we just saw that with the Vortex and the Overclock one. We immediately got the Liberator set. But every card in the Liberator set, maybe with like 1 or 2 exceptions, was better than what came in the starter deck.
And those
like,
decks
if we
still
just
sucked.
And those decks still suck. If we'd have just taken the power level of starter deck up a little better and maybe matched it with where the set was, and let's be honest, that set was also really bad for that.
Yes, it was.
But if we would have just had like some clarity, some synergy with that, I think it would have been better. But at the same time, like I should be able to just buy this product and do something with it, compete a little bit.
Should give you.
I feel so bad when I have to sit across the table from somebody who's very clearly a new player and they're playing a deck and I'm like, oh, what does your card do? Oh, this card's really bad. It does nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't think it's fun for them, and it's definitely not fun for me. Like, there's no fun being had for somebody who's just starting out and they're trying to go to like a locals for a first time.
Yeah. They need to give those starter decks a win condition. Like they need to have a win condition in mind every time they design a starter deck, because I don't think they have that in mind when they do that.
Like, what is Vortex's win condition?
Have your opponent play into your stuff by having stuff on the board.
The level 6 that they play is like their main level 6 until the ace one comes out in a couple weeks. That's the one they mainly play, is the one from the starter, because it also has security attack +1 and you can, like, I think swing twice, so it could potentially get in 4 damage. So
no, that's wrong. The main level 6 they play is Medieval Gallant.
Yeah, you right.
Best card in the deck.
Yeah. But like, can we just get a product or something that makes the new player experience better?
Go outside.
Because like, even if you looked at, again, Yu-Gi-Oh! As an example, back in our day when we played, Chris, remember they released Lightsworn? That was a really good starter deck. There was the Dino one. That one was pretty okay.
I agree with you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have some like really good starter decks.
Yeah.
That can definitely like push strategies forward, and it definitely seems like that's what we could do, where it's like it should be pushing strategies forward, not starting them.
Yes, exactly. They also are not afraid to reprint the hell out of things in their starter decks, or just in general.
Oblivion.
Yeah, sure. Like I watched Will open up some of the Blue Eye starter decks. You know, him starting his like 5th card game, and it had some really good reprints for like back when I was playing. Like I saw some of those reprints. I was like, I don't know what the cards at now are, but when I saw some of the reprints, I was like, hey, that card used to be really good when I played years ago. Like it was like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Nibiru. And the one trap card, I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, maybe, or something like that. Like I was like, hey, those were really good back when I played. I don't know what their power level is now.
They're probably all
like,
trash now, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, well, anytime a hand trap is reprinted, it's usually a good thing.
So I was like, oh, okay, those are all cool reprints. Like, I could only imagine if we got some of those in our game. But like I said, it's difficult because of the colors strategy. You know, like if they print just a blue starter deck, everyone's going to complain that, oh, blue's just getting more powerful. If they print one for just one other color, they're like, oh, that one color is just getting too powerful. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, but like...
I mean, they could just print all 6 colors once a year. They could all just get a
just like put them on a rotation.
And if you remember, back in the day, we had a rotation. It was red, blue, yellow, green, purple, black, and it just kept cycling, and then they just dropped that.
Yeah. They dropped that when they went DNA.
Yep.
Did it get dropped, actually?
It did.
No, yeah, because what was the last blue starter deck?
What was the last yellow one? Cinderella?
Yeah,
Cinderella,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
What was before Cinderella? The Mastimon?
Ragna and Jess.
Then before Massey, it was the TK starter deck, which was
great starter deck. That was a good one.
The worst.
Can you remember for when one set yellow was the worst color?
Yeah, that's because they
all of one set.
I actually didn't play in 1.0 format, so I don't remember.
Well, yeah,
Sean,
you have to remember, the true worst color hadn't been created yet.
Sean,
Black
imagine.
Yet.
Sean, imagine. Okay, everyone around you's playing. You would have been playing Blue Omni, just because that was the strongest deck at the time. Because they actually had a 2-cost Evo for level 6, then you could digivolve into Omni.
You had Phoenix as well, but we had a Hammer Spark. Yeah.
You want to know how you outed their Omni as a yellow player? What you had to do?
You had to hope it was suspended and then Evo into /Angemon and then crash into it.
Okay, you could do that.
Okay.
You could also digivolve into Slash and then play a 5-cost option card that was exactly 15,000 DP to kill it. So you had to have enough memory to digivolve into Slash, and then you can swing if you want, but then you got to play your 5-cost option that killed it.
Combo them, yeah.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, because of how slow those formats were, they used Grizzlymon just blocker sitting there ready to take the hit.
Yeah, it was god awful. And then they were like, "Hey, 1.0 or 2.0, it's like Shine Greymon best deck." It took one set, and then yellow was number 1.
Shine Greymon wasn't best deck in 1.5 format, in my opinion.
Yo,
what was?
I think it was Red Omni.
I guess Red Omni. Well, I guess Red Omni had more options to battle against.
Shine was just too slow versus Red Omni. Red Omni could just chunk you for massive damage.
There was also Rookie Rush, All Force, and Saris before it got. Well, Saris was tier 0 before it got put in the dirt.
Technically, it got hit the week we got the set. You guys just got to play it for 1 week because
in general.
Nice, but
yay. Anyways, like we were talking about, yeah, I agree. There's definitely got to be better ways to get new players involved in the game. It is very difficult for someone to come in and be like if I was to jump into another card game right now, it's like I'd have no idea where to jump in. You know what I mean? Like you got to do research. You got to look it up. Like, what do I need to buy? Like, and it's like you said, I would rather buy singles than the new product.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is stupid.
I'd be like, what deck? Or what's your favorite Digimon? Or like, what deck have you seen? If you've seen decks, okay, find a list and buy those cards.
Because you're taking a risk doing that as well. Because you're like, I might not even like this play style.
Yeah,
it's like one thing watching a video. It's another thing actually picking up the deck and playing it. You're like, I might not even enjoy this.
Yeah, that is also possible.
So there's definitely got to be something they can do to fix it. I mean, whether it's just like releasing some kind of mini set with reprints and new cards that could help new players. They definitely need to make the starter decks and advanced decks. They need to get rid of that too, by the way. It should just be one. They should all be advanced decks.
Yes, I agree.
They should all be advanced decks with good reprints in it, like a reason for us new players to purchase it. Because the only reason why we all bought the Vortex and the Syndrill decks were for the reprint training cards because they had different alt arts. That was like the only reason.
I haven't bought either one of those decks either. I just bought the singles for the trainings.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no interest in either one of these.
They even fumbled the training alt arts by giving you only
Yes!
one per.
So
I
dumb,
hated that.
dude. They both have different arts. So annoying.
Well, that would have been fixed if you would have just given you 2 trainings per starter.
That would have cost them too much money.
Not even that. I don't want to talk about it. It just annoys me.
Yeah.
I hate it so
All right,
much.
you want these trainings? You have to buy 4 of these starter decks. How many do I need to have a playset of everything in the starter deck, though? Just 2.
2.
And I'm super upset with everyone at locals too, because I was trying to swap with everyone. I'm like, hey, so we can all have No,
Nope.
no, I want no,
Yep.
no, and I'm like,
matching,
dude,
arts, please.
no. Sure, do I want the better looking ones? In my opinion, yes. I wanted the ones I liked, but everyone else also liked those, and I wasn't willing to compromise. Yeah, that's on me too. But I don't want the stupid one with Gatsumon on it. I want the cool one. Okay.
You're talking about
Anyways.
the black ones?
Yeah, or the red ones too. The red one's got the Volvermon on it, and I can't even remember what the other one looks like. I think it has Shumon on it. I hate that one. Anyways. Yeah, they've definitely got to do something better. But, you know, I bet you... I just thought about this. People are probably wanting us to talk down on Bandai about how they pushed the release a week, and all I can say is, yo, we've been through worse. It's 1 week.
We've been we've been through so much worse.
If you are legitimately upset about having to wait 1 week for your card, your little cards, right? I wish I had that as my only issue in life. Like, I wish that was all I had to worry about.
Yeah. We've had to wait for, like, I think 3 months before.
The gap between 1.5 and I think BT4. Was it 1.0 to 1.5? It was one of them.
I get it sucks, and people are like excited about new cards and stuff like that, but like it's 1 week, guys. It's really not that.
Yeah, like that is extreme. When they announced that and said it's the next week, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
If anything, it just gives you extra time to get money together if you want to buy product.
Yeah. It's like you can at least prepare a little bit more.
It actually benefited me massively because I had plans Friday. So I was going to have to go up to locals, pay for entry, get a box, and then leave. If they even let me do that.
Brandon, we're going to have to do the same thing on the 28th.
Oh, you guys can't play?
Brandon probably doesn't even remember why.
Apparently he doesn't.
Because we told Darius we were going to go to his concert because they're here in Pensacola, and it's on the 28th. So it actually worked better for us before they moved the date.
I guess you guys are going to have to cancel on him because...
I was going to say, I don't remember agreeing to go to that.
You did. We were both here. We were all here.
I don't remember you agreeing to it either. It sounds like you never agreed.
It was on a Wednesday, Brandon. We were all sitting out there in the living room, and Savannah told us, and I said, "Oh, okay, perfect. That works for us." Because it's release night.
So hear me out.
Don't you do it?
No, I wasn't listening.
You dog. You agreed.
That room.
You agreed.
We all know I was not present there mentally.
Also, something I'm really excited about is the fact that now we have a second locals, we're going to have 2 pre-releases, and one of them is going to be on Tuesday, which means we get earlier access to cards.
Well, he was... Because he probably wouldn't get the product until...
Zach told me, too, that they sent him an email about the delay, so he was like, I might be getting product, I don't know. And I'm like, sweet, I'd definitely rather buy them at your store than at the other one. Just because, like, I'd rather support yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's much more smaller and growing, so it's nice to support him.
Also, we would get stuff on Tuesday night instead of Friday night.
Well, do you think it would be the Tuesday before, or do you think it would be the Tuesday after?
Tuesday before.
Depending on when he receives it, like...
Tuesday before.
If he doesn't get it until Wednesday, obviously it's going to have to be the Tuesday after.
Well, yeah, if some butts were candy and nuts, Brandon, I think.
But you're assuming.
If you look in the Bandai app, the pre-release for that store is that Tuesday before the Friday.
Yeah, but that was also before the delay, so.
It was Okay, what is your point?
If it's and buts, we're candies and nuts. You're assuming he's going to have the product. I'm assuming he's
Go
not
look
gonna
in
have
there
the
now
product.
for the pre-release tournament.
Call him up right now. Hey, you got the product?
Call him up.
Okay.
Call him up.
It's not tomorrow. It's a week from tomorrow.
Listen, all I'm saying is we have a box, and you ain't going to know if the cat is dead or not until you open it.
Yeah, but there's a label on the box that says the cat's pre-release is that Tuesday. I'm gonna assume it's correct.
Could not be. You don't know until you open the box.
Anyways, I'm excited about that because I'll be able to open product on the channel like 3 days sooner than I normally can, in addition to just like having stuff earlier, which is also
Right.
cool. Yeah, that's exciting. Brandon's talking over there smoking rocks.
I mean, also, wouldn't that mean he's breaking street date? Because isn't it?
It's a pre-release, Brandon. Do you not understand what that means?
Yeah, but even the pre-releases have a set date.
It's that week. Have you never looked? People have pre-releases that aren't on Friday of that week.
Brandon, the only reason why it happens on Friday for us is because, one, that's when the tournament is scheduled, and two, that's when he brings the stuff up there.
Yeah.
Because that's when the tournament happens.
I'm just saying, there's been several times where we have gone there and they just haven't even had it yet.
Because that's when they bring it up there.
Yes.
Who knows when they get it?
They physically take it from the other store and bring it to our store.
The other store that doesn't have a scene, the other store that doesn't have a scene at all, for some reason, that's where they get all their Digimon product instead of shipping it to the actual store that has the actual scene. Then that means that dude has to wake up, go there, get the product, and bring it all the way to the store.
Yes.
So that's the only reason why it's on Friday.
I just wish I had your guys' unbridled optimism.
This is not unbridled
This reminds
optimism.
me of
this
bees.
Is facts. This is just facts,
This
Brandon.
is just facts.
Hard facts.
The pre-release window is an entire week. Have you never looked at the dates for a pre-release?
Why would I?
Other people get their stuff earlier than us if their locals is sooner than Friday.
Well, then I will look forward to having it Tuesday.
Have you never wondered why people are posting box openings like 2 or 3 days before Friday?
I assume their store was just like, oh yeah, we got it here, take it.
Yeah, they were at their pre-release.
No, they were like, oh, you're a content creator? Yeah, get the hookup.
No.
Yeah, Bandai's reaching out to content creators. Yeah.
They did do that once. They did that for one set.
Yeah, never again.
Yep. I don't think they picked very good ones, IMHO.
I wasn't included, so dude, bad.
Well, one of them is a perennial hater of Bandai and all things about Digimon.
Yeah, definitely didn't put out a 25-minute video about how Bandai hates Digimon, and then 5 minutes later uploaded a new video game trailer.
Funny how that works out.
Yes, we saw the trailer. We're so hyped for it. Sean has no idea. He is never gonna play it.
I might. We'll see.
Yeah. I told him he needs to. I told him he has to put a. Well, this is a Digimon channel, so I told him he has to put a poll out, and if there's enough interaction, he has to upload a Let's Play of the Digimon game.
The thing is, it's a Digimon card game channel. It's not a Digimon channel.
Right, it's not a Digimon.
It's hyper specific to the card game.
I mean, we're like what, an hour and a half longer into this? I haven't seen a single card yet. I mean, we're getting.
You're right. That's not what we've been talking about the whole time. You got me.
Anyways, all right. What are we going on to next? Card reveals.
Yeah.
There's a new one that just got revealed like 28 minutes ago.
Josh messaged it to me and said, "I'll tell you what he said after we look at it."
I haven't even I saw it, but I didn't get the chance to read it, so I have no idea what calendar does.
Wow,
all I know is Sean said. All I know is Sean said, "Calendar Mon OP."
No, I said calendar tier 0, but I was obviously kidding because it's a joke. Because it's an Atmon card, dude.
All I'm gonna say is the new card that was just revealed. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
I am exceptionally disappointed in it because they could have. They could have added a couple more words.
I haven't even read it. I just saw the cake and was like, yo, why he look like that?
Is it an Agumon? Oh, it better be good.
Why he got a fat dumpy?
Is it an Agumon?
It's not.
Okay, good.
Alright, weekly reveals. Gatchmon. So Evo's on top of a level 2 with Appmon or Hero trait for 0. Your turn once per turn when Digimon gets linked. If you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one Haru Shinkai from your hand without paying the cost. You can link him with Appmon trait for 1 memory from your hand. You put him sideways, he gets 2000 DP and raid to the thing he's linked to. This is not an inheritable Benjamin. It is above the Digimon name, not an inheritable. Is this not the same effect we saw before? Is this not the same Digimon?
It might be the same card.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. I'm just like for like players because I have a pretty solid understanding of this. It's not a source. Yeah, it's not a source. Like it can't get stripped out, right? Like this is, say you're playing against a source strip deck.
That I do not know.
Okay, I was gonna say, and they strip all your sources. Does it just stay under your level 6? And it just counts as a Digimon without a source?
That I do not know. That is a good question, though. I am curious about that. If they're gonna count this different, because this isn't an inheritable.
Because is that the case? Like, if I say I promote level 3, and I activate this. Is it considered under the level 3 and then I Digivolve on top and it's like, say, it's now like attached to that source? And then someone snipes it out. Do I lose it if they just snipe out the level 3? You see what I'm saying? Like, is this?
These are great questions, and unfortunately, they have not said anything about how this works.
I don't think it's going to be that complicated.
It could be, though. Those are some interesting questions that he's asking. It could be as simple as it's just an extra source and it'll work the same as any other source, but it could also be weird.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you can't do that in raising. You're not going to be able to link them in raising. It's going to have to be out in the main field, I assume.
Yeah.
And, like, it just depends, like, when in the stack do I put it in there and, like, where am I going to position it on the card, you know?
So, reading the link trait, like, description, it says plug this card from the hand or battle area sideways into the specified Digimon in the battle area. So from my understanding, it's specifically attached to the Digimon, meaning in my mind it would always be at the top of the card because it's connected sideways to whoever the Digimon is, and all your sources would be under it.
Yeah, I mean, it could just work how it probably should work, where it's just going to be treated as a regular source, but it's not an inheritable. It's a separate thing that also gives you effects, but it's not an inheritable.
Yeah, because it doesn't say inherited.
Like, because that's actually, like, pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like, because there's never going to be...
2000 DP and raid is not bad.
Well, I'm just gonna say they're never gonna be able to get rid of it without outing the entire Digimon.
If it's basically just like pseudo Xania where you just can't.
Yeah. Because we've talked about this about like being like tool cards for Digimon. Like we were talking about like Digivices, but like I guess the Appmon is a good way of doing it as well, where it's like they're just like really good. They can be really good effects that just like you just equip to your Digimon and be like, hey, now this is like a boost to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he's basically a vanilla inheritable. Like he doesn't have a real inheritable.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have an inheritable.
You have to link it. Yeah.
All right, Haru. 4-cost memory setter. Your turn when your Digimon get linked. By suspending this tamer, draw 1. Then one of your Digimon may app fuse into a Digimon card in the hand. I don't think we know what the hell that is.
Nope. It can what?
It can app fuse. So that must be like a new DNA kind pseudo mechanic.
This sounds like it's going to be like Digicross. I already hate it.
I really hope it's not like that. That I will also hate that. Alright, so Tai Kamiya. This is a secret rare.
Yeah, it is crazy. Put that out.
Yeah, crazy. This is the 3rd secret rare tamer I believe we've gotten.
Mere Rena and her, right? No, was Mirai a secret?
The EX6 mirror is a secret.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, yeah. Rena, Mirai, and Tai.
And all of those, the base art is at minimum like $30+. Nobody even plays Rena, and she's $30. If this is played in multiple decks, which it very well could, I would imagine this is going to be pretty expensive. Alright, so Taikami, he's a memory setter. When one of your Digimon attacks by suspending this tamer, draw one. Main once per turn, you may play one adventure or hero trait card with a play cost of 2 or less from your hand without paying the cost. For each of your tamer's colors, add one of this effect's play cost maximum, then return this tamer to the bottom of the deck.
I mean, obviously, we're not seeing the full picture right now, but just for reading the first part of it, just by attacking suspend to draw one is already pretty good. I mean, I don't think it would be worthy of being like...
Its other effect is just so slow, though.
It's also ambiguous. Like, we don't know how it's going to perform.
The deck plays several dual color tamers.
All of them.
And also, this can play the secret rare Omni X.
Yup.
True. Yeah.
Just
I don't know. We'll see.
That out there.
We'll see. How it comes together.
I'm annoyed that this is a secret rare because it seems like it's probably going to be played in that deck, but
playable. Yeah.
Metal Greymon.
Now, let's go.
On play or when digivolving to one of your opponent's Digimon, de-evo 1 for every 2 of your tamer's colors. Your turn once per turn. When your other Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. Inheritable is Alliance. This also can evo on top of level 4 with Greymon in name or the adventure trait.
And what's its type, Sean?
So weird.
Huh?
He's a cyborg.
And he's a cyborg.
That I don't care about because giving Machine Digimon Alliance is literally meaningless. Who cares?
I mean, some builds play the stupid little hover SB for tokens, right?
Okay, I mean, if they're doing that, then they're not going to have a good inheritable in their stacks. I'm cool with it.
It's a level 4 anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, this is like one of the first. Like this is going to be better for its archetype than Machine Digimon. It's like one of the first times.
I just love how it's just going to continue.
It's never going to stop. They're going to have to hit that card if they ever want that to stop happening.
Ceiling, man.
Because it's limiting card design. I'm certain of it. Like, there's no way they don't have to think of that card every time they create a level 5 cyborg.
I don't think they're thinking at all.
Hey, look at this, Sean. It's your first good Agumon in how many sets? Forever. I mean this for the Greymon strategy.
It's been 84 years.
We've had other good Agumons.
Agumon. Evo's on top of black or red for 0, or a level 2 with adventure or hero trait for 0. Your turn while your opponent has Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, or your tamers have 3 or more total colors. This Digimon can evo into War Greymon in the hand for an evo cost of 4, ignoring Digivolution requirements. Inheritable is Reboot.
God, this guy is so good. He's literally, obviously we're going to get the counterpart later, but he's literally just a BT14 secret rare, but for any War Greymon.
And also you can do it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, also you can do it just by having your tamers set up. Your opponent doesn't have to play into it.
Yes. Yep. Oh, dude. This is going to be so good in just, like, the Omni strategy, period. Like, even disregarding, like, the rest of the adventure stuff, this is just really good for Omni.
I just wish he was also red.
Same.
Oh, dual colored?
Yeah. I think they were afraid to make him red-black for some reason.
Because it literally cuts out the entire red engine. You know, I mean, you can play the new secret
Greymon for you.
Yeah, I just wish that this card is very good. I just wish it would have been one step higher. It would have been red-black.
Yeah.
Or black-red, you know.
Yeah, whatever color they want to make it.
I'm here for it, though. It's good.
Yeah.
Then we have Magnamon, color border reprint, Vmon.
Nice scheme.
Evo's on top of Demi V or level 2 with hero and trait for 0 memory, or red or blue for 1. Your turn, when this Digimon would evo into a Digimon card with the armor form or hero trait, reduced evo cost by 1, inheritable, your turn plus 2k.
That's what Magnate needed, but more importantly, and here's the important part, this is Sean's third blue-red rookie.
It is a third blue-red rookie for my Warp Toolbox deck.
And if you run a Demi V, you can evo for free.
I already run a Demi V.
Exactly.
I think this card is very good for the Magnamon Armor deck. I don't know where else it would get played. Outside of that, I don't think they planned on it being played anywhere else.
Possibly the hero deck. We still don't know what the hell that's going to look like.
Right. So, I mean,
going to be like a coherent deck. They could just be giving it to most of the cards in this strategy and just tell you to go wild.
Yeah, figure it out yourself.
Here, all of these cards have the trait. Go for it.
Yeah.
And it's like Sean said, this effect isn't super broken, so that's why they were able to make it blue-red. Unlike the Agumon, who has a really good effect, I think making it black-red would have, pushed it over the edge?
I don't think so, but apparently they did.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me a third rookie. I appreciate it. Davis
Super.
Mogamiya. Yeah,
all these tamers
are super rare, so sorry.
Jeez.
He's a memory. I'm sorry. He's not a memory setter. He's a 4-cost tamer that says if your opponent has Digimon start a main phase, gain a memory. Main by suspending this tamer and trashing the top stacked card of one of your armor form trait Digimon, draw 1 and gain 1 memory.
Imagine being able to loop your Magna X like this. Like, oh, I've used up my Magna X's effect.
Are you crazy? I'm never doing that. I'm never paying that cost.
You can go into another one and then unsuspend it.
You'd only do that if it were a game, but also Magna X doesn't have armor form in his trait, so you can't do this to Magna X.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You never do that.
Yeah, despite having armor purge, he doesn't have armor form in his trait.
He's not actually armor form. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is like armor rush support, but
it just seems like a waste of resources.
You have a 0-cost option that does this for you and doesn't require you to put a tamer on the field ahead of time, so I don't know if that's going to see any play.
It's also a 4-cost a memory setter, so
yeah, that you can't play for free to my knowledge.
You can skip this one.
Gabumon Evo's on top of level 2 with adventure trait or blue or purple for 0. Your turn, while your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, or your tamers have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon can Evo into Metal Garu in the hand for Evo cost of 4, ignoring Evo requirements. Inheritable, when attacking, once per turn, draw 1, then trash 1 card in your hand.
This card sucks.
It's literally the exact same thing with Agumon, but for Gabumon.
Terrible.
I would argue it's better, because we have better Metal Garus than we do War Greys.
Terrible. That's a good reprint.
Agreed. It's a starter deck one, right?
EX2.
No, yeah, it's
EX2. I'm sorry.
Which is like I think a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
So
it's like their best searcher, right?
It's the best Gilmon in the deck outside of the X Antibody, the new one.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how that one's not translated to English, but I guess that's just because it's an LM card, so therefore we don't even know how we're going to get it.
That is very true, Brandon. Growlmon, on play or when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. If this effect didn't delete, trash the top 2 cards of your deck.
What?
Inheritable, on deletion, gain 1 memory. This does Evo on top of a Gilmon and name for 2 memory.
What the hell?
Just smell yourself, idiot.
They are literally afraid of making a mill deck. Dude, I'm telling you, that sucks.
They are.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's bad.
They're afraid, dude. Alright, another super rare tamer. Takato Matsuki, 3-cost. Start your main phase of your opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. All turns when any of your Digimon are played or Evo, by suspending this tamer until your opponent's turn ends, one of your Digimon with Gilmon, Growlmon, Gallantmon, or Megijimon in its name, or the hero trait game blocker, and if there are 10 or more total cards in both players' trashes, it gets plus 2,000 DP.
I was kind of expecting more, I'm not going to lie. That's
pretty mid, not going to lie.
Yeah, I don't think this will see play.
I don't think so. This doesn't read kill my opponent, therefore it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be defensive with this deck that has kind of wonky protection effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how you do that, Bandai. Flamon. Main. By suspending this Digimon, you may play one red tamer card with inherited effects from your hand without paying the cost. If you did, place this Digimon under the played tamer, inheritable your turn plus 2k.
Really cool, because now we can play our 5-cost tamer for free.
Yeah, you didn't have other ways to do it already. That didn't cost you a rookie. I don't know. This is...
I mean, back in those days, still to this day, you have to rely on deletions.
You also have the 2-cost option.
Yeah, but that plays it for 1 memory still, since it only reduces the cost by 4.
If you're playing the 5-cost one.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Actually, I do. I kind of think it's bad.
I hate it.
It's okay.
I don't think you play it. I would rather have something that searched cards.
Yes, I was just about to say that. The level 3 slot in Red Hybrid is usually reserved for your searchers. So
yeah, I don't think this guy's...
I don't think it needs a whole lot of play.
Because, like, you would have to... In order to not pay 3 memory for this guy and then maintain turn to do this, you'd have to Evo on top of your Tama, promote, and then choose not to attack and just sacrifice that to...
Just to get a tamer out.
Yeah, just to play a tamer. It seems bad.
The only thing I can see is if there was a card later that plays him out for free, like Secret Rare Ancient Greymon, he could play him out for free, and then you could tap it to play a tamer, and then but that's super situational and just already feels bad that I'm having to try to justify it.
I would hate it if you got cards that let you play stuff from underneath your tamers.
Yeah, that's
because you already have the dual.
I was talking from hand. I'm not saying from underneath the tamer.
Okay, playing it from hand. Okay.
Yeah, like Secret Rare Ancient Grey. He plays a dude from hand when he dies.
Oh yeah, I guess. But then you have to play the Secret Rare Ancient Grey.
Well, I'm saying if we got something new that did something similar,
maybe he's not an on play though, because like so you'd have to maintain turn with whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Aldemon. When any of your Digimon with a Gunimon or Burning Greymon in their Digivolution cards would Digivolve into this card in the hand, reduce the Evo cost by 1, security attack +1, on deletion you may play 1 red tamer card with inherited effects from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Inheritable, on deletion you may play 1 red tamer card with inherited effects from your hand or trash without paying the cost. This guy Evos for 4 memory.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Pack filler.
Yes. Takuya, super rare tamer, 3 cost. Starting your main phase, one of Digimon or tamers may digivolve into a Digimon card with the hybrid or hero trait in the hand. For each of your red tamers with different names, reduce this effect's Digivolution cost by 1. Inheritable, your turn once per turn. When your opponent's security stack is removed from you, may play 1 red tamer card from your hand without paying the cost.
What?
Does that technically mean if you had Takuya Koji, you could reduce it by 2 because it's 1 for the Takuya, 1 for the Koji?
I don't think so.
Takuya Koji is a dual colored tamer.
I don't think so.
He is part red.
I mean, you play this card, right? Like this immediately goes in the deck.
The fact it says different names is kind of the hiccup.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing it in pure red hybrid, unless what I'm thinking is the case, you're only ever reducing the cost by 1, and the inheritable is...
It's like, okay, but you already have the ability to do this pretty easily.
Yeah. It feels,
but I mean...
It feels weird.
It would definitely be good in the hero deck, if that is a deck, and you can play this for free, which I guess you can with certain things.
Dude, okay, so... I have a harebrained theory. Okay. I think that's how this deck is supposed to be played at the end of the day. Like a Crossheart style deck. Or not Crossheart. Or like a Hunter's style deck where you're playing a bunch of different tamers and stuff like that.
It's going to look like a pre-release deck.
It's so weird because like I think it's based on the anime where all of the pro tags show up in like some kind of multiversal thing. And all do stuff, and Marcus punches a Digimon. It's great.
Yeah, it's literally BT12 Part 2.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're going for. It's just, it's weird.
It's funny because 21 Inverse is BT12.
Yeah. All right, now for a card Sean is actually happy to receive.
Yay! Koromon, your turn once per turn. When any of your yellow or red tamers are suspended, draw one. Let's go!
Let's go! So good!
Actually good Koromon.
Draw support. Hopefully we have a box topper, because this is just a common. Gross.
Yikes.
And here we go.
Then an even better card. This is what Shine Greymon needed. Rise Greymon is on top of Geo Greymon for 3 memory, or red or yellow for 4. On play, or when digivolving, for the turn, one of your one of your Marcus Damon is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon, can't Evo, and gains Rush and Alliance. Then one of your Digimon may attack. All turns once per turn. When any of your yellow or red tamers are deleted, you may place one Marcus Damon from your trash as a top security card. Inheritable is the exact same thing. This is what fixes the deck. I mean, it's not going to, like, put it over the top or anything, but the downside of playing Shine now is if your opponent outs your stack and you're not promoting out of raising, you literally can't play the game for an entire turn. This guy lets you just pay 7 memory, boom, target my BT12 Marcus, suspend it with Alliance, trigger its effect, Evo into something for free, and then, like, do something. My combo is Evo into BT2 Shine, suspend everything else on your field, and then maybe even turbo up into a Ruin mode. For the low cost of 7 memory, and swinging for 2 checks into your opponent's security.
Let's go!
Yeah. I love this card.
I love it so much.
It's so good.
It's a rare, right? Gotta be.
Come back. It's an uncommon, so we get pre-release stamps.
Damn it! Oh, okay, yeah, pre-release stamps. Okay, I was thinking I just wanted the foil.
Yeah, we'll be able to get foils of this.
It's like I never left.
Alright, then we have Marcus Damon, yet another bad one. 4 cost. It's a super rare as well. Start your main phase. If your opponent has Digimon, gain 1 memory. On play, one of your Marcus Damon may suspend. All turns once per turn when this tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gains piercing and 3000 DP for the turn. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn.
I think if you wanted this card to be good, it would also have to have the ability to make, like, it would have to say, and then one of your Digimon attacks. Instead of giving, like, -3. If it did +3 in piercing and then says then one of your Digimon attacks, I think it'd be okay.
I think it needs.
I think it would have been. I think it would have been much better, and I think this might have been too much. No, I don't think it would have been too much.
Not at this point,
because you have to have another card on the field to do this, anyways. I think if it was, instead of it being an on play, if it was just a main,
yeah,
and you could just like willingly trigger your 4 cost one, your what BT12?
Yeah,
is it BT12? Yeah, BT12. You could just activate. You could just like go main on this, activate it, and then suspend that one, just so you could. Yeah. So you could, because this one clearly, this one didn't have, in my opinion, it didn't have the Ruin mode turbo in mind. It had blast or burst mode. In mind, because this card works better. This one works better in the burst mode deck, where you're gonna play this card. You're going to activate its effect, you're going to bounce it to your hand, and then play it off again off the burst, activating it again. But, like, I just think that works better if it was just a main effect.
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to promote the Marcus by paying 1 memory. You can just, like, I'm in a bad situation here, I just need the Digivolve for free, activate this, tap this.
It would give you a reason to put this in the deck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're going to have to worry about Ruin Turbo anyway, because, I mean, it's just going to hit it to 1 soon.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Gatomon. He's on top of level 3 with Adventure trait for 2 memory or yellow. Security, at the end of the battle, play this card without paying the cost. On play or when digivolving, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 until their turn ends. Inheritable, when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn.
Yep, starter deck filler. Hey, look at that.
Cool. Then we have a color border reprint of this promo that we got in tournament packs. And then Omni Shoutmon. Evil on top of Shoutmon for 4, or level 4 with Cross Heart or Hero Trait for 3, or Yellow or Red for 4. End of attack. You may play 1 card with the Cross Heart, Blue Flare, or Hero Trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 5. If you did, delete this Digimon. On deletion, you may play 1 Digimon card with Cross Heart or Blue Flare Trait from your hand to trash under any of your tamers, then save. You can cross this guy with Shoutmon for -2. Inheritable is your turn. This Digimon with the Cross Heart trait gains Rush.
I mean, this is pretty good. The Inheritable itself is really good. We needed more. I'm not saying we needed more. The deck definitely needed more cards that gave Rush as an effect. Because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's this and like one other card, the Shoutmon. Right?
Keep it to a minimum.
I can't remember the new cards that we're getting, the new Cross Art cards. So I don't remember if any of those give Rush.
I don't either.
So don't roast me in the comments. I just know that there's this one and then the other Shoutmon. I think this is really good for that deck. That's
roast
just
away.
Yeah, you're the only Cross Art player in the call, I believe.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell these cards do. I'm gonna be real.
Another super rare tamer.
I'm reading them and I'm just like, yeah, okay, those are words.
Yeah.
Those are words.
Taiki Kudo, 4-cost tamer. Start your main phase by placing 1 Digimon card with the Cross Art, Blue Flare, or Hero Trait from your hand under this tamer. Draw 1 and gain 1. Your turn when Digimon are played or Evo. If any of them have the Cross Art or Hero Trait, by suspending this tamer, one of them may attack.
That's also pretty good.
I was expecting the Marcus to kind of do something like that, where it just lets you attack when you're done.
Well, this guy doesn't give them Rush. They'd have to have Rush in order to allow them to actually attack.
Fair.
I think that Rise Greymon is perfect. I'm looking forward to the rest of the support, but that Rise Greymon's really strong.
Yeah.
Look, all the Agumon has to do is search again. Let it be another searcher that adds Marcus and a Greymon card, or a 2-color card. And then the Geo Greymon, I don't even know what you would make it.
If you have tamer. If you have 1 or fewer tamers, you can play a Marcus Damon for free. That's what it should say.
Okay.
There's already enough ways to play Marcus for free in that deck.
We need more, obviously. We required to have them on the field in order to play the game.
Good. Don't need more.
Yeah, we do. Red hybrid player that gets to play him in 5 different ways.
Yeah, my stack has to die.
Hey. It dies on purpose.
Hey,
only in the ancient version.
Then we have Darktramon Ace. I believe we've already seen this, but I had forgotten about it. This is actually
a higher quality version of it.
Yeah, this is actually a really good black and purple level 6 Ace.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's having D-Evo.
Yeah, Scapegoat, and then on player when Digivolving D-Evo 1, and then delete all of their Digimon with the lowest play cost, and an inheritable of Collision.
I think this is the
fact that it has an inheritable, but also still stays at 7 as a play cost is still pretty good.
I think this is the Chaos Dramon card.
It is.
Not Chaos Dramon, I'm sorry, Chaos Dramon.
Yeah, whatever.
I think the art looks really cool as well.
It does.
It goes hard.
Yeah, but definitely really good effects. And finally, black and purple have like a decent generic one.
Yeah. Another reprint for this.
Another reprint of the King version from BT12. This is only the uncommon. Like, why is this reprinted? This isn't even the secret rare, which also isn't worth anything. Alright. Then we have a Dramon Superior Mode. Evil's on top of red or purple for 4 memory, or level 4 with save in text or with hero trait for 3, raid and piercing. When Digivolving, this Digimon may attack without suspending. All turns this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for each of its Digivolution cards. Inheritable plus 2000 DP your turn.
Okay, seems alright.
Infinitely worse than the original Superior Mode.
Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't just have built-in removal for you know, bits and gigs.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they printed that card. Another super rare tamer, Tagiru Akashi. I hope the hero deck's not good, because if it's tier 1, these tamers are going to be expensive.
Oh yeah.
4 memory, start your main phase by placing 1 Digimon card with save in its text or the hero trait from your hand under this tamer. Draw 1 and gain 1. Your turn, when any of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with save in its text or the hero trait by suspending this tamer and placing one card from under your tamers as any of their bottom Digivolution card, reduce the Evo cost by 1.
That's pretty good for a cross deck.
Yeah.
This deck is so weird.
It is very strange. Then we have a Gurimon. When attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon has Gamamon in its text or the hero trait, draw 1.
I mean, this will be a pretty good generic comma going forward if more hero trait cards get printed.
Yeah. Or if you're a Gamamon player.
I saw Gamamon. I said no thanks.
Yeah, and this is a reprint of whatever that is.
Is that the promo? Is that the promo one? It actually needs a reprint. That card's like sitting at like a couple dollars for no reason.
Oh, okay. It is a promo, yeah.
Yeah, it's E131.
It looks like it's in the LM set though, so there's no telling when we'll get it.
Yep.
Kent Weissmon. Evo's on top of a level 4 with Gamamon in text or red for 3 memory. On play, when Digivolving by placing one Digimon card with Gamamon in its text from your hand as this Digimon's bottom source. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP or less. Inheritable, all turns once per turn when Digimon with Gamamon in its text will leave the battle area by your opponent's effects by trashing 3 Digimon cards from its Evo sources it doesn't leave.
Right, at least they finally got something.
Yeah, it'd be awkward if they played against a source strip blue deck that stripped all its sources and then bounced it or something.
Yeah, that would be pretty sad.
Are you eating sunflower seeds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Disgusting.
Well, I just saw you spitting into something. I was like, I know he doesn't dip.
I've just taken up dipping in the past couple days.
Hero, also another super rare tamer. 4 cost. Start your main phase. If your opponent has Digimon, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when effects place Digivolution cards under any of your Digimon with Gamamon in their text or the hero trait by suspending this tamer, draw 1 and gain 1 memory.
Who cares? I'm sleeping on this deck.
Yeah.
Has every single one been red?
Yes, probably because they're pro tags. They've all been at least half red from what I remember, besides the tie, which is white.
Brian, have you not realized this until this point that all the pro tags are red tamers?
I wanted to wait till all of them.
Matt's not a pro tag.
Matt's not a pro tag. Yeah, he's the secondary.
He's an antag.
Yeah, he is.
Pain in my ass.
You're welcome.
He's a terrible big brother.
He is, dude. He's a terrible person in general. He's just a whiny baby.
At least he didn't try to have some sexual tension with his little sister.
That never happened.
What are you talking about?
That's how that. There is an episode in specifically the Japanese version.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. The Japanese version.
It's real weird.
All right. I don't need to hear about it.
You really don't.
I believe we've already know what these are. These are just high qualities of the Sora and Kari and the Tai and Izzy. Then another reprint of Future Potential. No one cares.
Sean, that's the 5th time you've brought that card to show and tell.
God. And then we have higher quality Joe and Mimi and Matt and TK. This is the first the first purple/yellow tamer we've had that's been less than 4 memory. Let me finish.
Oh. No, yeah, I guess we had another. No,
there's no other dual color purple yellow tamers besides Mirai.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Then we have Weregaru.
Ew.
Evil's on top of level 4 with Gurumon in name or adventure trait or purple for 3 memory. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If your tamers have 2 or more total colors, add 1 to this effect's level's maximum. And then your turn, once per turn, when your other Digimon are played or Evo, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack Inheritable Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Then we have higher quality of the LM Megas, Vikemon. This is a good reprint. Huan-kun color border. This is the one from
right before they hit Mirage. Smart.
EX6. Well, people play this in a lot of stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
You're right. It's just Mirage. I'm kidding. Swipemon. Your turn once per turn when Digimon gets linked to draw one. This looks like a toaster oven.
Agreed. So
My
does
little
that
toaster. Love that movie.
If you promote a level 3 with the link ability,
Yes.
and link, does this carry over with it, or does it just automatically draw you the one and then it gets trashed?
I would imagine you don't lose your inheritables. I think that would just be stupid and bad.
But like, where is it gonna go? If the link card is sideways, does that mean its Tama is also gonna be?
Oh, you're saying like if the thing you promoted links into something else.
Yeah, because
you would lose that.
When this Digimon gets linked, does that mean?
That means something else is linking to it.
Yeah, when something links to it.
Yeah, something else goes in.
If you have two, right, and they both have a Tama, they both have a Tama.
You would not draw two cards.
No, I'm saying you just lose the other Tama, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like Digicross, where you would lose all your sources. Or not?
Sean, there's no. Come on, I mean, we're not entertaining this, right? He's trolling.
I think he's just dumb, dude. I don't know.
I'm just asking questions.
You still don't know how
Brandon, why would you? Brandon, why would you? What did you think would happen to the Tama? Like,
he thought it worked like DNA, maybe. You just put the whole stack. You just turn the stack sideways and put it in.
Yeah, dude. Imagine you'll have a whole tic-tac-toe board.
That looks like dominoes.
Yeah.
Stupid. All right. What is Calendamon?
Calendamon. He's on top of level 2 with Atmon trait or yellow for 0. Security. At the end of the battle, play this card without paying the cost. You can link it with Atmon trait for 1 memory. It gives them 2,000 DP, and then your turn, all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3,000 DP. Bad.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not very good.
Tier 0.
Yep. Yeah. And then this card could have been better. Thanks a lot. Angemon.
I just want to know why he's showing off his butt.
Why not? Is a better question.
Jesus Christ! Why he's double caked up on a Sunday, man? Golly!
It's Monday, my dude.
That ass is ready.
Golly! It's ready for a lot of stuff. This is one of the only arts I'm actually trying to read the name of the artist. I'm gonna be like, Ben, does this guy all draw just asses on like face first in the Digimon?
Hey, this guy,
like one of your French
the artist was like, yo. So you're giving me an angel card? They're like, yeah, Angelmon? No, you're getting Angelmon. Okay, I can make it work.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I showed this to the wife, and she immediately looked at it and said, "Daddy?
Daddy?"
Angemon does his squats. He never skips leg day.
When digivolving, if you have one or fewer tamers, you may play one tamer card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. Inheritable when attacking once per turn. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn. They couldn't just say and also play a TK without paying the cost. Nope, couldn't give it to us. Can't have TK for free. Be too broken.
Well, no, this is
power creep
starter deck.
It literally could have said play a tamer card with adventure trait or TK in name.
Why would they do that?
Why wouldn't they? We need... A lot of the pro tags have play this tamer for free on a champion built in, and TK is one of the oldest ones that doesn't have one, along with Sora.
Or Ikakumon has one.
Does he really? They can play Joe?
I don't think they have one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you did. Yeah, Sora, Joe, TK, Izzy.
All the non-important ones.
I don't think Izzy does either.
Yeah, I was listing the ones that don't.
Oh, that don't?
But like,
it's just Matt and Ty.
Sora doesn't.
Sora does, right?
No, not a level 4.
You're right. Oh yeah, their Birdramons do it by different effects, and it's like Garudamon that does it.
But like Heavy Metal Dramon, they have level 4 that does it. I'm pretty sure the Cinderella deck has one.
Sean, you're playing your tamers for full cost, okay, buddy?
So stupid.
That's how we balance angels, okay?
Well, good luck. They're still not balanced.
And hitting Digimon to 1.
Hey, you shut your whore mouth.
Just remember, he threatened it last week. He will mute you.
I will mute you.
That's true.
I will turn this podcast around.
Alright, comment questions.
Hold on. Calm down. Hope you're
Calm down. Stop thinking about Digimon at 1.
I hope you're ready for the gauntlet that we're about to enter.
Oh, the 50 plus comments? Yeah, because we did the...
We knew this would happen.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, we did the Banlist discussion.
The more controversial the topic,
the more comments.
Yeah.
We don't have to read all of them. Just don't read the brain dead ones.
But those are the most fun. I want to roast those people.
The ones with the unhinged energy are great.
Yeah.
Like that one guy who was like, this guy is dead card game. Like, get out of here. Why are you here?
Yeah. All right. Comment questions.
Oh my god, the first one.
Dude, the first one.
I'm sorry, but I don't. We're hitting a roadblock on the first one.
All right. I'm going to try to power through this.
Chris, just because I know you can't see it, okay?
It's
alright.
No! We can't read all that!
Listen, we appreciate your engagement. I threw you a thumbs up, but good lord.
All right. Not a fan. 5573. Hi guys.
Sean. Just summarize it. Just you read through it and then summarize it for us.
Skim it.
No, I'm just gonna speed read it. I meant to comment this like 2 episodes ago when it would have been relevant but never got around to it, so here it is now. It's another text block, but would really like to hear your thoughts. My least favorite keyword is evade. I think it's just a lame and frankly poorly thought out effect. Evade is basically a blue version of scapegoat, and fragment, but way worse where those two can be used repeatedly, provided you have the necessary material. Evade is one use only, 90% of the cases, and it's rare your opponent only has one deletion-based removal option during their turn these days. That's assuming your Digimon is even unsuspended, so you can actually use evade in the first place. Hope you didn't attack or block. I think a better way of doing it would have been, instead of suspending to avoid deletion, you pay memory to stay on board. It still fits thematically as blue as the memory gauge color. Can be reused like scapegoat and is balances while you're keeping a body on board. You're also limiting your play routes on the turn and giving your opponent free memory on theirs. Maybe you can even make cards with effects that punish your opponent when they gain memory specifically through their effects, like Mirage does with cards.
Okay, first, right there, awful idea. Because if you just have a dude who can sit on the board, and all you have to do is give your opponent 10 memory, like they're gonna run out of resources eventually.
Yeah, it's like Magna X, but you just gotta pay memory.
Awful. Like if it was only deletion, maybe. Because then you could avoid it by like, oh, D-Evo, neg DP. No, oh my god, don't even. Bad. No.
I can understand his frustration.
I'm not done reading this.
What? There's more? That wasn't it?
That was the first of.
I don't know why Brandon decided to pontificate that much on that part.
Okay, never mind. Continue. I have nothing to say on that.
Part. Yeah, just on the evade part.
My favorite keyword right now is hands down Fortitude. I'm primarily a green player, God help me, and Fortitude is the only truly good thing green has gotten in millennia. Not only is it a great effect, but unlike evade, most every card with Fortitude has been really well designed around it. Heavily Omon was a showcase for Fortitude, and it's still the best abuser of it so far. In fact, I think it's just one line of good dedicated support, a third level 3 and archetype bounce protection dedicated tamer, maybe even another better ace than the EX5 Saber Leo, away from becoming the other high tier green deck next to Tyrant. Last thing, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this. Fortitude is great, but let's be real, green needs a lot more help. I would love if Bandai did for Digisorption what they did for Digiburst, revamped it in another new keyword exclusive to green. It would need a new nickname. It would need a new name, of course. I think Network fits for what I have in mind. It's basically just a nerf version of Digisorption. Say Digimon has Network -3. Instead of suspending just one of your Digimon in order to get the full reduction, you would have to spin 3 of your Digimon. It would work like D-Evo 3, where you can spin up to 3. It's a simple change, but I think it would taper the effect significantly, since even in the current fast-paced meta, getting multiple bodies down quickly can be a challenge. Green players would have to use Network more thoughtful in big plays rather than Digisorption with Reckless Abandon, like in the past, meaning your opponents have more time to react to them. You're probably thinking, well, it's not really a nerf since lots of things in green want to be suspended anyway. And my retort to that is, it's no different than purple getting Scapegoat and I guess Execute now too. I actually think that's a good idea. I actually like that.
Yeah, the change for that. That's nice.
So he's saying with what do you call it, Network?
Yes.
Yes.
Like you could suspend for each one you suspended, you would reduce it by 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So instead of only
that's
having
cool.
reduced one, instead of only having to suspend one dude to reduce your cost by 3, you can do one dude to reduce the cost by 1, up to 3, where you can suspend 3 dudes to get the full max.
Yeah.
I think that's actually not a bad way to reintroduce that mechanic. I think that's actually pretty solid.
Agreed.
Because it does give your opponent time to have counterplay to it and be aware of it, rather than just be like, I'm evoing for free, suck it.
Then, yeah. I can already tell you right now, the first deck that could abuse Network is give us a new Leopardmon deck that would do it. Because Leopardmon's already the green deck that plays bodies. I mean, next to Bloom, obviously, but...
Bloom,
the plant engine.
A lot of green decks do. Because also the bunny deck can spam bodies too. If you're playing the Alliance version, it can spam bodies.
I don't even think they need a new. I mean, yeah, obviously they do need a keyword, but they don't need one to make it relevant again. I mean, Tyrant didn't have a new keyword, and it was like, it was never dominant. It was never the best deck in the format, but it competed.
They just
and there was a reason for that. They need better protection like Tyrant. Why was Tyrant so like decent? Because when it's suspended, it's unaffected by your opponent's cards. Digimon effects. So and then like they just need, every deck could be like halfway decent if it had some sort of protection. Like right? Every deck would be somewhat decent with some protection.
Counterpoint.
That's it. And that's why Tyrant was good, was because they have like 2 or 3 cards in the deck. They're like, hey, while I'm suspended, guess what? You can't affect me with certain card effects. And then you put Shibamon next to it, and they're like, now you can't even activate option cards. Like, how are you getting rid of that Tyrant?
Yeah. Sometimes protection's not enough. Vortex, looking at them, their level 5 gives protection, and it's real bad.
It's because it's for 1 turn.
So
that deck loses to decks that don't play on the field.
I'm talking about persistent protection. Like, if you meet this requirement, you have protection.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to get you to clarify. Like, it can't just be a singular thing. It needs to be...
Well, I just assumed it... Well, Sean understood what I meant. I just assumed you would too, but I forget, you aren't the brightest. You didn't know that what would happen with your Tama if you linked stuff.
Like, when I tried to build a green deck, and I'm still trying... But I originally was going to use those level 5s, and then I realized this is just a better version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the shiny Mega Kabu. Expensive card for no reason.
Just play Tyrant.
I don't have Tyrants.
I have Tyrants. You could borrow them.
Maybe I will.
You like control decks. It's a control deck.
That is true. I mean, I just like decks that win, honestly.
It plays aces with Tamer deletion as well. Like, it's right up your alley.
You know what? Maybe
you just don't recover. You just don't recover. That's like the biggest problem. But the biggest problem is, like, you have to establish Tyrant as quick as possible. I got to get this big bug out here.
I might mess
And again, another reason why HBD is hindering their design philosophy is it costs 5 to digivolve, but you can also digivolve on top of a
mega.
A mega to do it for 2. So it's not that bad, but I definitely imagine they were like, hey, we can't make this a 4 to digivolve because HBD
That's
exists.
The issue with HBD is because they're like aware that it's a card, and they're like, we can't make this too cheap.
Hey guys, we printed this. Maybe we should do something about it.
And they've got another Tentomon now for a searcher, so your level 3's got even more consistent. So that's really good.
Maybe I will build Tyrant. I'll try it out. I've never messed with it before. Maybe I can test it and see if I like it enough to put it in the poll. Because, I mean, the most expensive cards in the deck I already own because I was theorizing something different.
You have it right there, right?
Yeah. They're by far the most expensive cards in the deck.
All right, what's the next comment? Hopefully it's not as long. Goodness.
All right.
I gotta give that guy credit. He was going all out.
He was.
Hey, I liked the network idea.
I liked the network idea. I agree with everything, with pretty much everything you said. I didn't like the evade idea. But the fortitude I would agree, and the heavy Leo and stuff. But I like.
you just have to assume not every keyword is gonna land. Obviously, not.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Like even Steph Curry on a good night's missing a couple shots. I'm sorry, he's the only one I could think of right off the
Read the
top.
next one.
I mean, it's probably a good analogy. It's just funny that you randomly were just like sports analogy.
Yeah, just read
sports
the next
analogy.
one.
I'm sure that some of the people watching understand, but I'm sure some of them do not.
The Mavs got they decided to really tank, huh? Not Sean?
Yeah, they did. Liam McCown, 8369. Cards like Blossomon or why green decks had all their megas cost 5 memory for years because Bandai realized they had to bake in the memory you were cheating somewhere. It should say it won just so that green decks can play much more interesting level 5s and have reasonable memory costs on megas in the future. Now if only Bandai would have the same realization about Bloody Galgamon.
Yeah, imagine if Mirage didn't always cost 2 memory.
I can understand him by saying, you know, like the green level 6s has got to cost more if all of our level 5s Digivolve for free, but it doesn't have an inheritable.
Shut the hell. Okay. Anyway.
Proceed.
Amateurish author. This one is not as long.
3.
2202. Coolboy and BT14TK are nowhere near in the same ballpark as each other. Coolboy only works if you evo in the same level of X antibody, as well as only searching for X antibody type cards. Unless you are playing Dorugoromon and Alphamon, he's bot decking over half of your deck with an extremely limiting suspended gain and draw condition. X antibody decks don't run him because he's just awful unless you are pure X antibody, and even then, I haven't seen him in Alpha or Dex Dorugoromon decks, period. He's a bad tech card. BT14TK.
I think that's a bad take.
It is. Having witnessed firsthand how good Coolboy can be if you put it in the right deck.
I think you have to have a deck where the X antibody line is just that strong, where you only ever care about seeing it. Like when I had Garu X at 4, you bet your sweet Bippy I was running Cool Boys.
Yeah, if the X antibody line is the best part of your deck, then you're 100% like it's a good call to play Cool Boys.
Yeah.
BT14TK on the other hand, he costs the same as Coolboy, directly enables the vaccine engine, and his suspended gain and memory is far more generous than any other card. When a card is added to your security, suspended gain 1 memory, BT14 Patamon replaces the card it pulls from security as well as activating its own inheritable from the Evo, Magna Angemon Ace, Angelmon Ace Angels, Magna Angemon, Dominimon, Seraphimon. He works with any card that's yellow vaccine and has the capability of recovering. He doesn't bot deck any cards and lets you tuck any vaccine card to the bottom of security, setting up Angels, Magna Angemon, BT14 Patamon, Dominimon. It was either BT14 Pata or BT14 TK which gets hit, and the correct choice is that BT14 TK got hit. Numa X was usable in only one deck. Promo Wargar was useful in only one deck. Red Black Greymon X was only usable in only one deck. They all got hit. Coolboy's a bad card with extremely strict memory gain. TK can get the bonus memory off of effects of the 3s, 5s, 6s options and tamer cards, of which is most of the deck right there. Training memory boosts except for reinforcing and scrambles don't touch security at all and are probably the only ones you do run in Angels. Hate it all you want, but TK will never and should never come back to 4-ofs.
I stopped listening once he said TK and Coolboy cost the same. Yes, TK can cost 2 memory, but technically he costs 3.
He was quoting me for saying they cost the same.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, because I compared them. Because I was like, it's functionally the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like,
I think if you play them both in decks that obviously they work in, they're functionally the same thing. Like I have access to extra memory that I can just kill you with.
I'm just wondering who hurt him with Coolboy. Who keeps activating Coolboy on him and just keeps like adding all the cards?
No, he was saying Coolboy was not good because
he's saying Coolboy isn't
I compared
good?
them and said they're the same.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't think Coolboy is good.
I do agree they're virtually similar in strategy and the way you play them, but I do think TK was better because he was not, as he says, he was not limited to just X antibody. He was just limited to his archetype, and the entire archetype was really good, and you had a lot of them. It's basically like playing Coolboy in a Alpha Doru deck where you can grab anything, you can do anything, you can constantly keep getting it.
I think he should come back to 4.
I think you're Cope.
Well,
read the next one.
I have 4 alt arts. I'm ready to go whenever they release a list and they're like, hey guys, our bad. You're right. Awakening to 1 was enough. We don't need to hit this card.
Dude.
Salty
Your
010.
factor is that your memory is too small now.
The real crime for Mirage because of Galaxy Engine, that thing cancer as fuck limit to 1, just making every Galaxy Engine will use 1 piece as Mirage. Mirage needs to straight ban. You know, I know some people's first language isn't English, but I suspect that person's first language is English. No offense.
I understood. He basically is saying even if they hit Mirage to 1, Galaxy will still just play it at 1. Might as well just straight ban it. Which I can see. Just ban it and print a new version of it.
I wish they would do that with cards like that, but they're obviously not going to because Anubis 1 is at 1.
Yeah.
And HPD is at 1.
You're just gonna have to live in the world of, would you rather them have 4 Mirages and know they always have it, or play against it and only ever remember playing against it and they see the 1 of? Because you're never going to think about the times where you play against it and they're like, oh, they never saw it. You're just only ever going to remember the games where they saw it.
Mm-hmm. And it bodied you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaggle Oz. Comparing BT14 TK to Cool Boy makes so much sense. All you need to do is ignore the fact that TK is yellow, so supported by anything that supports yellow is called TK, so supported by any Patamon stuff they print. That's not true. None of those cards are for... Yeah, that is not true at all. I wish it were. Sets up a resource that lets you cheese up to 4 or 5 memory by digivolving for free from security. Continues to reduce its own play cost until the third one you play costs 0. It is easier to activate because Cool Boy requires you to have the same level of Digimon in hand, and you can activate TK with stuff you already have on board. Cool Boy draws you a card as well as gaining you a memory though, so TBH ban Cool Boy. For real though, I think they should print a new TK that lets you fix your security as a start of main effect or something, but just doesn't have the memory effect. I hate to invoke the Wrath of Sean even more, but I also think Ruin Mode should go to 1. I'm going to stop reading this comment soon.
Whoa!
I don't think it's problematic on its own, but I think it's become too easily exploitable, kind of like Jack Raid. Decks like Demon Lords and Tau Loop and Ancient Grey Garu get into it effortlessly and trigger multiple times and or multiple turns in a row. I wouldn't be mad if it stayed at 4 though, because these decks right now aren't super dominant. I just think things like that are going to keep coming up unless they hit it, and one day it could be consistent enough to be a real problem. Love you guys, by the way. Sorry this was so long.
The longest one.
I think the only time they could have honestly hit Cool Boy is during Alphamon. That was the only time I can truly remember where I was just like, yo, Cool Boy is... Because it was always adding cards.
It searched the entire deck.
Yeah. So, like, yes, like, when your opponent pops off with a Cool Boy, it feels bad. You're like, damn, that sucks. But it's not... How many times... I remember more consistently digivolving into my X antibody card, drawing, and then that's the same level of the Digimon I needed actually. You know, that's more likely to happen instead of always seeing your line. Like, the only time it would have been hit was during Alphamon's peak because you searched the whole deck. Like, now it's like that comment said earlier, Darugamon's not even playing Cool Boy, and it, like, searches the whole deck. Yeah. Right?
No, it doesn't. It searches half the deck.
They're not all... only half? That's not all X antibody anymore?
Not anymore. Yeah.
Only the Dex line is X anti.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you don't even need... That's right, because only the Dex is, not the regular Darugamon line. So it doesn't even see play anymore. Like, it's not... I don't think it's
it
that...
does see play.
TK... Does it? And what, Gallon X? Yeah, your version of Gallon X, the only person playing that version...
They're all wrong. Everyone else is wrong.
I get Sean's defending this TK because he likes the deck and he honestly thinks that it's not a problem. But
I think it's a really good card. Obviously, I think there are much worse things that exist in our game. It's stupid to me that card's at 1 and other things are at 4. That's why I think it should be at 4.
Bandai is saying TK is on the same level as HPD. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is he made a fabulous point. When you get multiple TKs, they literally start paying for themselves.
Okay.
Literally.
That is irrelevant to me.
You have 3 TKs. You have access to 7 memory. Because you're going to get the Pata, the Gato.
From which side of my
TKs.
ass is the extra memory coming from? Because I don't recall having more than 3 TKs based on what you just said.
So, the Pata, the Gato, the TKs, and the two you're saving. The two you're saving from not even paying the cost for the Gato.
That's only 5 memory. You can't just add memory that you didn't pay.
Well, it originally you would have to have paid it.
And that requires setup. That is multiple turns of just playing those.
Requires setup, playing the deck. Every deck requires setup.
Not all of them.
I literally have to go level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. That's setup. I'm setting up my body.
No.
I think he was also saying you started off with a memory setting TK.
No.
No, he wasn't.
That's without it?
You have a 7 memory access because you're saving 2 from not paying the 2 for the Gato. You're gaining 3 off the TKs.
No one was asking for TK to get hit until it got hit, and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. It should have been hit."
That might have been Sean's worst day. Yeah, Sean was so pissed off that day.
Good.
Yeah, I was.
I hate.
Now everyone's like, "Yeah, TK should stay at 1," and I'm like, no one was calling for TK to get hit at the height.
That's because everybody was looking at the obvious Magna X in the room.
Yes. And Awakening. Awakening was the problem. TK was not the problem.
I said, hey, Angels, they're right there. If we let them have access to 4 TKs, they're going to be popping off.
I literally wouldn't play 4 TKs in Angels.
Could you imagine?
I've said that in my deck profiles.
Could you imagine TK into Minimon? That would suck.
I literally wouldn't play it.
Oh, really?
I don't even play the 1 of anymore. I cut it. Cupimon does it for you and you don't have to search it.
That's true.
Alright, what's the getting extra memory off of them? So.
B Dunback. You hit Kazuhamon. She's the reason why you can loop super easily. Also, they can play more than just the plugins. They can play option cards also, scramble, memory boost, etc. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Hit Cyborg Sub-Zero. Phantom 280. Honestly, the green plugin is an option because the most the loop could do at that point would be a less effective way with blue card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
I think they could also play... I guess Kazuha plays it out itself, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I was going to say you could Kaiser Nail, but it literally doesn't need to Kaiser Nail. I
do believe some versions play Kaiser Nail, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
It probably just helps you get started again.
Mm-hmm.
Deca796. My argument for Gravity Crush is that only Red Hybrid uses it and is the I gotta win this turn card. The deck doesn't have any type of protections other than BT7 Ultimate, and even then it can die to DP. Hard disagree. Other decks play that card.
The problem is there's always the possibility other decks can play that card. Just because nobody's playing it now doesn't mean its ceiling is capped. It's always going to have a very high ceiling. It's literally just get 2 memory.
Yeah, it's free.
You're killing your
memory.
opponent. Who cares?
Yeah, Hammer Spark is at 1, and yet all of the 2 memory gain cards are still at 4 because they're just not in meta decks currently, but they will be one day.
One day.
Jax Raid is. Jax Raid is next for sure.
Yes, Jack Raid is in a meta deck currently.
Jax Raid.
Jack Raid, yes.
So long, you have to say Jack.
It's literally what's written on the card. I can't help that you're illiterate.
Mute him. Mute him. For the
I
rest
can't
of the
help that you're illiterate. Tony Pino 18. To add on to the training ban conversation, we have a problem of Digimon matches going into time, so we need to improve on our consistency so you don't lose your chance to win a tournament due to time rules. If we have top run in every big tournament, then getting a tie won't feel so bad.
I think he's saying for the trainings to stay.
I can't tell what position he's taking.
I assume he's saying that the trainings need to stay in because decks need to be more consistent so you can win faster.
Okay.
You don't go to time. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's silly that people are talking about hitting training cards.
Hey, you know these cards that raise all ships?
Yes.
Yeah, ban them.
So unfair, dude. I can't play this in every deck, although you actually can't play them sometimes now because Bandai's come out with like nature spirits and stuff like that. But you know what you were doing when you built nature spirits, dude. You were gonna lose. It doesn't matter that you can't use trainings. Gary Lassarella 7997. Regrand Kawaga. Paramidimon is that card on roids. You can't Evo Tyrant on top of Paramidimon. Just saying.
True. Could you imagine clearing your opponent's security and then going, all right, here's Tyrant?
Yeah, here's Tyrant. Deal with my board. Benjamin Wiseman 6567. The cards I would ban: EX5 Anubismon, BT15 Apocalypse, BT11 Mirage, BT14 Balmon, BT17 Gallantmon Crimson Mode. Hot take, I know, but trash and security based on both players' cards, and trash is too powerful and is only getting more powerful. The cards I would restrict: BT4 Jack Raid, BT1 Grav Crush, BT4 Blinding Ray, BT16 Magna X. I said as someone who plays them regularly, tier 2 decks have no answer. BT16 Pyodramon, hitting Davison Ken kills a deck. BT14 Patamon, and I love his new art, but the little guy's too powerful. AX5 Cerberus X, BT17 Takamikazuchi, it only needs one anyway, just make the OTK a little tougher. AX4 Ruin Mode. I like some of your takes, but there are quite a few that I disagree with.
Yo, he killed a couple decks there.
Yeah.
He's hitting the Balmon and the Takamika. I mean, that deck is...
He's like, hey, I've lost to this too many times. You're not sacking me today, bud. Yeah,
I want Imperial to be dead. Hit the Tamer.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't even kill the deck because of the memory cost level 4s they got in like BT12 or whenever they got them. They can still go into a Pyodramon without passing turn. The issue with the Dual Tamer is it speeds up the deck significantly, but also it strips sources and makes it so much easier for Pyodramon to stun things because it removes their sources before it suspends and stuns them. If you take that away from them, it is nowhere near as broken.
I think EX5 Cerberus is also a
I disagree.
Interesting shout.
A lot of people are calling for something in the Dark Animal engine to get hit, but I disagree with that. I think it's fine. I agree with everything besides Gallantmon Crimson Mode going to 0.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I agree with Jack Raid, Grav Crush, Blinding Ray going to 1. I disagree with Magna X and Patamon and Cerberus X and Takamikazuchi and Ruin Mode.
Ruin Mode.
I can understand his reasoning with Magna if it was a couple formats ago when it was like the uppermost top deck where it's like, hey, it's keeping everything else beneath it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not so represented right now. Like, we still have the armor decks playing it, and there's still like a good chunk of the format, but I don't think it's keeping out everything else right now because it just doesn't have that representation. So it's like keeping everything else like out like it was.
Yeah. Also, I don't think tier 2 decks have an issue with Magnex, or at least not to where like, oh my god, I literally lose to that card. I think it is homebrews and cope decks now that lose to Magna X. I think tier 2 decks would probably be okay with it.
I still get the same reaction from Will every time I bring that deck and I played against him, and he's like, oh my god, Magna X. I'm like, bro, it's not, I mean, like, okay.
The hatred was instilled in him by the people that quit because Magna X was printed.
Yeah. What were all the bans? It was Anubis, yes. Apocalypse, yes.
Mirage, and BT14 Balmon. Mirage cannot just go to 1. It needs to go to 0. It's going to be another card where you're like, I lost because my opponent drew the 1 of Mirage.
They won't, because like cards like you said last week, Anubis, the fact they didn't ban Anubis, it's at 1. It just tells me Mirage is going to go to 1. Yeah,
unless they're like, hey, when you start banning cards legitimately, like, I think it's ridiculous that Anubis is at 1 because it's by far one of the most powerful cards on the list, and it's in it's in a color that can recycle it very easily. It's like if they just get access to the first one, they can just keep putting it on the field whenever they want.
I also don't think he hit Purple Hybrid hard enough. I think Matt could be hit.
I think if you hit Jack Raid to 1 or 0, I think that deck is much more fair.
Think so?
I think it's really good, and the resource engine is insane. But
the matches can keep recycling it.
Yes, but that's fine because they can't activate the same. They can't activate Jack Raid more than like maybe twice in one turn.
Yeah, because you have to realize they're gonna have to kill their stack with the end of attack or something like that, and not all their tamers are gonna be able to swing if they're just playing them out that turn.
Yeah. They're not just going to be able to be like, oh, 4 Jack Raids, here's like 4 extra swings this turn, or 4 extra things that are going to just deck you out.
I still just think it's crazy what Ben did to you the other night with calling and then those mats. Like, that's just insane.
It wasn't the mats, it was literally he activated Jack Raid like...
That's true. He did activate that card like a bunch of times.
Yeah, he activated it like several Jack Raids over the course of one turn. I wouldn't be mad if they hit something else. I just don't know if it's necessary if they hit Jack Raid. If they hit Matt, I would be like, I guess, but I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah.
All right, Benjamin Wiseman 6567 again. I agree with the gang on all the cards that need to stay restricted, be unrestricted, or banned altogether, except for BT13 Geo Gray, Digivolving level 4 and playing a 5-cost hammer for free gives too much advantage. Disagree. Especially for the color, they can easily know it's in its security. BT3 Blossomon. Even Blue Mord wouldn't play this at 4. That's not true. Level 5 inheritables and effects other than cheap Evos are too important. BT11 Greymon X. It's a problem because it's a Greymon, even if it wouldn't be a problem right now. Okay, whatever. BT7 Jet Sylphie. 1 cost recovery is too strong. This needs to stay restricted. No, it's not. BT3 Hidden Potential Discovered. It can stay at 1 as long as green decks are bad. No end in sight on that. That is a silly reasoning for leaving a card at 1 because a color is, you think, bad.
Doesn't Jet have to have certain cards underneath it to recover? Or is that just to make
she has to have a hybrid underneath her, I believe. No, Tamer's reduced the Evo cost.
Oh, you're talking about just to recover?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to recover, it has to have a Tamer?
No, it has to have... I think it just has to have a hybrid.
No, I think it's just when Digivolving recover. I think the reduction is the only thing that cares about Tamer. I'll check. I'll pull it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it either doesn't care or it's a hybrid.
Right. I think the reduction, it has to have like a Tamer.
It does.
Or it has to have a hybrid.
No, the reduction is only Tamer. If it doesn't have a Tamer, it doesn't reduce.
You do have to have a hybrid to recover.
Okay, I thought
okay, then I think it's fine. Most of the yellow hybrids are bad.
Well, the yellow hybrids now are blue hybrids.
Right.
And there's purple hybrids now that are yellow. Having said that, though, I don't think it going to 4 would be that big of a deal.
I don't think so.
Build the deck beyond broken.
I'm trying. And that's the reason why I think it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because I think any version I try sucks.
I think it's at the point where even if it was at 4, I don't think it sees play at 4.
Yeah,
I think the most you'd ever see play is like 2.
That's the problem. So I'm like, putting 4 in here just feels bad. BT13 Geo, playing a 5-cost hammer for free gives too much advantage? No. We already have Geos that play 5-cost hammers for free.
That's not even the best tamer to play. Like, yeah. BT, what is it, 12 is the best one you want to play, right?
Yes.
You're not going to play it in any other deck.
Yeah, Vaccine is not going to go back to playing Geo Greymon if it goes to 4. I assure you.
Hey, watch out. You're going to be playing BT21 Marcus for free.
God, it's so bad. Greymon X can come back. I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, we've already explained our reasonings on those. I just disagree. Caldeborg 38. TBH, key cards I think should be hit after discussing with my locals group. Jack Raid, Blinding Ray, Goblimon, and Fenrirlugomon Takamekazuchi.
Goblimon? Which one?
The BT14 Goblimon. It's part of the Dark Animal package, even though it's not a Dark Animal.
Yeah. Isn't that the one where you like draw, discard, or no?
It just has an inheritable, and it's just when you discard a card, gain a memory.
Gain a memory. Okay, yeah.
I think no.
Everybody used it in Anubis.
Yeah, Random Mexican 123. You could make Turbo Paladin mode deck that could OTK, but they would need bodies on the board. I don't know. What the hell were we talking about where he said that?
127.
Oh, with Blossom on.
That sounds bad.
We were, I don't, because he would start out. He would start out suspended. He needs to attack in order to unsuspend.
I'm telling you, Blasso to 4.
If Bukamon goes back to 4, I'm putting it in my Magna DNA deck and using the Stingmons that give piercings. Yeah, that'd actually be a solid call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I wouldn't actually use the one that gives piercing. I would use the one that draws cards.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say the one from the starter deck where you just draw cards endlessly.
Yes. That way you're drawing 2 cards every single swing if you have the promo Vmon and the Stingmon in there. Oh, so good, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you're drawing 6 cards.
Yeah. If we do get Bukamon back to 4, although it would make it awkward. No, Wormmon can evo on top of blue. That's right.
No, I think it says. I guess it is just blue. Yeah.
It evos on top of blue and green. The BT16 Wormmon evos on top of
the name and then 2 random colors.
I think one of the colors is blue, but it's just for 1 memory.
Right.
Yeah, so you could definitely switch to Bukas. If Buka, yeah, I think that's a good call. I would go to Buka at 4 and then just play the starter deck Stingmon that draws cards. Because you're always going to have jamming. Justin So 8231, keep up the great Digimon content. Ban Mirage.
Back.
Thank you. That one Larry dude. Usually the argument against training and boost is being unable to interact with them, like setting up training and boost until you can just OTK or something.
Looking at Sean.
Don't
that's
hate,
not what he just did to me last week.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. And then someone
I think that's a dumb excuse.
It is.
Because you can interact with them.
There are...
Here's my memory blocker.
Yeah, you can do that. There's also... We have started seeing the introduction of effects that trash them off the field. Justimon does, but also the Lucimon option card can trash them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... I don't understand people that think that. Green Hill Mario. For trainings, I think the most valid argument is that they are 2 memory investment for a 2 memory return, even if it's only for one specific thing. I don't agree with hitting them in the current state of the game, though. If memory boost could grab options and tamers too, then there'd at least be less of a net loss if trainings disappeared. Honestly, what I really want is a change on delay as a keyword, because those turns of crack a training, crack a memory boost after hiding a Rookie and raising for a turn or 2 can be rough. Surprised no talk of Leviah. I think if the Dark Animal Engine is fine, then something from the Croc should go at least. And it also doubles as a Demon Lord's hit. Though this is coming from a puppet player whose blood pressure spikes when Biting Crush hits the field, so grain of salt. Edit. Oh, there was mention of Leviah. Never mind.
I'm telling you, I did. Because I think that deck can be like sneaky strong. Like we started seeing it kind of like creep in, just like certain versions of it or just like pieces of its deck where it's like everywhere.
Yeah, because I mentioned Gabu X could come back, and you guys were like, "No, Leviah."
I just said no because it's too generic.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't know what I would hit out of Leviah.
I wouldn't hit anything.
I just think, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, there are really good cards in that like little archetype.
There are, but there are also really good cards in any deck that is somewhat viable.
That's true.
Like, I don't see Leviah taking half of the top cuts anywhere. Like,
yeah,
no, but it's in like a lot of purple hybrid list.
That's a good card. I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to hit Medieval Gallant just because it sees play? Like, no.
Yeah. Everybody that doesn't have 4, yeah, you can hit it to 2.
Hit it to 2. Be the first semi-limit.
We heard Chris only owns 2 Medieval Gallant, so we're going to semi-limit this to 2.
Yeah, stupid.
Blind Owl 123. Hidden Potential Discovered is so busted. I won a locals in BT8 the first time I picked up Imperial Dramon because I was running HPD along with 3 copies of Smashed Potatoes, an infinitely worse version of HPD, which allowed me to turbo into the OTK on turns I had no business OTKing people. Yes, that is why it should go to 0.
Yeah, if a card says, hey, I allow this tier 3 deck to win just because I am a tier 0 card, maybe we should look at that card.
Yeah, I agree. Adaptive Reasoning. I want Blinding Ray, Jack Raid, and Gravity Crush hit. Tax Wolf and BT12 XV and Stingmon. Tax Wolf is Mirage.
Yes.
I don't actually. Yeah. I don't actually think Daikin is the problem. Otherwise, the other two Yo-Yo Tamers from BT16 would also be more of an issue. I see this reasoning from people, and the issue, the reason why that's flawed logic is those two Dual Tamers, those archetypes, have significantly less support than Imperial Dramon has had. Imperial Dramon has had waves and waves of support, whereas those two archetypes have not.
Yeah, like I looked at the bottom end for the Shikuamon, because I like Shikuamon as a Digimon, and I was like, oh, I have like one good searcher. Meanwhile, Vmon has 3 or 4 that are all good searchers.
Yeah.
I literally play 12 searchers in my Magnum deck. Like 4 Vmons,
the issue.
4 Worm, no, like 8 Vmons, 8 Wormmon. Like there's so many. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like that was always the problem between the other 2 DNA decks is one is way more consistent than the other 2.
Yes.
Like that's just because, like Sean said, one has way more support because they've always been not. I'm not gonna say the same colors, but a majority of their colors are blue and green. Like they started doing the red and purple version, but that's like a different. That's a separate deck. The problem with the other one is we have armadillos that are like blue. We have some that are yellow.
Atomons
and other like blues. Yeah, and then like the Gatomons. The Gatomons have mainly stayed yellow, but then like the bird Hawkmon is like it's all kinds of different colors.
Yeah, and they
you just got in here.
They straight up changed Shaq's colors.
Yep. They kept him yellow, but otherwise.
Yeah, they made the deck half black instead of half blue, which is what originally was. Like, it was a weird choice.
Yeah. I will say, the BT16 Tamers have a infinite ceiling.
Yes, they do.
But their ceiling is capped with what you're playing.
Yes.
Like, obviously, our current card pool, it's very bad for the other 2 16 Tamers. Whereas right now, the Davis Kin has the best ceiling because it has the best cards to play.
Yeah. Like, I think eventually all 3 of those Tamers are going to be on the list.
We're just not at the point where the other 2 need to be touched yet.
Yes. Those 2 archetypes need way more support before they're even remotely, like, a problem. Having said that, those 2 Tamers are very powerful. Like, especially the Shaq one that de-evos.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Primogenitor is also pretty nuts, but I don't know if it should be hit. If it should be hit instead. I don't know why I can't read. It's the memory gain on the Digimon that bothers me the most. If Sylphie and Shaq had level 4s like that, they might be almost playable. They can bring Geogray back, but I think the rest can stay as is. I would vouch for Grandma X, but the wording on the card's reduction based on colors does limit future card design. He's just too free, especially with trainings and scrambles. I think he needs a retrain like Nume X does, basically the same, but make Greymon give a flat 1 reduction into Greymons and let Nume float into level 5s, not 6s.
What black-red card deck is going to use a Greymon?
Any of them they print in the future?
Most of the level 5s already cost 3, and guess what, guys? Greymon X costs 3. So you're only getting his reduction, really, by digivolving on top of another Greymon. That's the only way you're making up for it. If you play it outside of its own deck, you're paying 3 to digivolve into a champion. So you're not really saving memory.
Well, he doesn't reduce if it's on a Greymon.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where would you play this outside like another deck?
They said, actually, I'll amend my statement a bit. Imperial Dramon can't have both the Daikin and BT12XV and Stingmon with everything else it has going for it. Pick one, but try not to kill the deck entirely. Just make them work a little harder for it.
Kill it.
Yeah. I think hitting the Tamer to 1 is a way better solution. Because I don't recall getting touched real hard when they had the BT12 Imperial
it wasn't
stuff.
until they got the Tamer.
Yeah, they got the Tamer and they got the BT16 pile, which I think is fine if the Tamer doesn't exist.
Yeah.
If they even
cards that are smaller than it, and like there are decks that are going to be bigger than it. So.
Yeah, like I don't even think Primo's an issue.
Yeah.
Well, Primo will just get replaced by scrambles. Like if they hit Primo, they'll just play more scrambles.
Yeah.
Even if they did hit the Pildramon, we have enough good. I'm not gonna say good because obviously it's a very good card. We have enough decent level 5 DNAs where they would just replace it. Like they would just go to a more faster OTK version with the other one.
It makes the deck slightly more fragile too because you're missing out on partition. But I mean, like, okay.
Yeah.
Blind Owl 123. I can see this happening if they unban the Garu promo. Digivolve in a Star Deck 16 Sunamon into draw inheritable Gabu and back for 0. Play blue training to put opponent at 2. You can't play a blue training in that situation. I believe that Gabu is a purple Gabu.
No, I mean the draw inherit Gabu is blue. BT15.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking of all the other purple ones that are draw inherit. My bad.
Well, those are draw trash.
Okay. They Digivolve in Raising and play Memory Setter to put you at 2. You raise Gabu, Digivolve into Gabu X to add a piece and X antibody. Pop Training to go into BT5 Garu to gain a memory, putting you at 3. Then Digivolve into Garu X. Play Blue Scramble to put you at 1. Digivolve into Promo, Wear Garu, then equip X antibody. Swing to Evo into Wear Garu X and suspend after 2 checks. Attack for 2 more checks and use another Blue Scramble to Digivolve into EX1 Melga for 2, then gain a memory to put you at 0. Digivolve into Blitz Omni and suspend and swing at last security, then use X antibody to go into either Omni X. In either trash last security or end of a turn attack. You got high rolled and died turn 2.
Jesus, this sounds like Brandon's type scenario. Yeah. Where he just had everything.
Yeah, back when everything was at full power. Yeah, you said this is the way. Yeah.
Now that is hyper specific. A, you're banking on your opponent giving you 2 memory, and B,
what? You're banking on the extremely unlikely scenario that your opponent gives you more than 1 memory for your turn.
Yeah,
on turn 1.
That's crazy. Anyway, also there was a much easier way to OTK with that exact setup. I think you're forgetting the Wear Garu X lets you unsuspend, so you don't need the Omni. So you'd swing promo, unsuspend.
Oh, so you need less cards from that combo.
You actively need less, yes.
Okay.
You just need the level 6.
Yeah. Well, you've heard it here first, folks. Promo where Garu can never come back. Disaster, which is AJ. To be fair, Gallant can still be a generic OTK deck with a control aspect part still. Just can't focus on the full control part now.
I think your version of the deck is a little... not a little. I think it's just a better version.
I mean, I've seen the way AJ builds his Gallant decks. I mean, if it's anything like his Jetsmon deck...
Yeah.
Ah, yikes.
I think that version just requires too many more pieces. With the way you built your Sean, you're just like, hey, I'm killing you.
Yeah.
Like there is no, you don't get to play. Like that is and should be the better version of a deck.
I agree.
It's like, hey, you don't get to play.
It's like, hey, dude, Chris, you're dead.
No, remember, Chris, it's you dared played the game. You dared put a body on the board.
You put something on the field that just speeds up my OTK. I need less memory now. Thank you.
Because with don't even come at me with but you need to see these pieces. You need to see those pieces for either version.
Yes,
you can say that literally about every deck.
Yeah.
You need to see your pieces.
Yeah,
and you don't need to see that many pieces.
What deck wins without seeing pieces?
Guess what searches all those pieces? Cool boy.
Cool boy.
Oh, what? Crazy.
Also, fun fact, the OTK gets more consistent when we get 2.5 because you replace GX with the new Omni X, and it doesn't require a second Gallantmon X. And is also more removal.
Why control when I kill?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to control your life and put it at 0 and kill you.
Oh god, there's still so many more.
That is all. Nobody plays Sunrise Buster anymore because Heaven's Judgment is a card. That's fair. Sunrise Buster just requires too much setup now.
Yeah.
Jim the Kid, I think Solugar that trashes 2 to pop or play should be hit, or Balmon or Radom to once per turn. I think Balmon going to 0 would be fine.
Yep. They need to hit something in that deck. They need to.
Yeah. They're not going to be satisfied until it wins like Worlds or something, and then I think they'll be like, okay, we should hit it.
Yeah.
A Lanier Skeen 4692. People had talked about the old Ancient Greymon getting hit because of the OTK. Now with promo Aguni and new Burning Gray into new Aguni into old Ancient 5 checks. But if the booster pack picture BT21 has anything to say about the contents, Red Hybrid and Shine are getting some more support. So I don't think anything from those 2 decks are getting hit.
Also, you have to see 5 cards in order to pull off that combo. So you are Omega high rolling because you need a rookie, obviously, the promo, the burning, the Aguni, and the ancient.
I wouldn't mind seeing something in Red Hybrid get hit. I don't know what.
The Gravity Crush
that's
is
what I'm
already
saying.
going.
I don't know what. I could just imagine. Brandon, do you even play Gravity Crush in your list?
Yeah.
He plays 2.
Oh.
I might cut it down to 1, but I had to.
I just don't know what I would hit in that list. Like I don't know what. It may be the Ancient Greymon, but
it's not doing anything.
I mean,
right now. When was the last time you saw it top?
It is a lot of burst damage really quick for just a few cards.
Yeah, it was 0 defense. You have 0 clapback if your opponent does anything that like what am I gonna do against a wall deck?
Your best.
Sure, I can get really, really big DP, I guess. But
yeah, you'll just start bringing blue plugins.
Don't tempt me.
The Black Soul. I would argue for Pokemon to be errated first and then come back to 4, forcing it to only work with Dark Masters and nothing else like it was intended to be designed.
It won't happen. They've never errated a card before. They've fixed text, but not errated cards.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I was about to say it's just been translation fixes.
They're never gonna. They're not gonna errata cards.
They technically errated Quantumon, but that was because it wasn't designed correctly to work as intended, and they just fixed that. But there was an actual errata to it. John Ryu 2317. Shame that Sarasmon is power crept to oblivion, even if it's back at slow and too much Evo cost. Well, it's free if you just have 4 HPDs and just use your opponent's stuff. But yeah, it's even that deck at full power would just get curb stomped by anything remotely good now.
Again, the problem with green is your opponent has to have stuff on the board.
That is an unfortunate aspect of it, yes. Crimson 35124. Oh, sorry, I skipped one by accident. I wanted to read this one. My bad. I did not mean to do that. Blossom legally allows me to rob my opponent at gunpoint, but it's okay because it doesn't have an inheritable.
He gets it.
You didn't even read his name.
Dareday 436. Did I not?
No, you just skipped over it and was like, "Oh, I accidentally skipped it," and then just read the comment.
Oh, my bad.
That guy gets it.
Crimson 35124. I think Magnex should be hit to 1 unless maybe Blinding Ray gets hit. Magnex plus BT19 Huang-Kun with Final Zubagon Punch is 4 damage with literally 0 counterplay. And like the deck list at top that was featured by Avolt, they just evo into an uninteractable Quartzmon Ruin Mode blocker to guarantee they can kill you in the next turn. Just be better, dude.
Oh.
Also, I think Blinding Ray is probably soon on the chopping block with the rest of the memory options.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. This is Brandon commenting. In quotes, he said, "They should not give us free evos like this." Sean 2025, the guy who plays
Blossomon,
the guy who plays BT14 Patamon. It requires setup. How many times do I have to say this? You don't just magically have it for free just because you drew the card.
I want you to know, anytime you've promoted BT14 Patamon and have whiffed, I have been given the best Justice Boner in every one of those situations.
Yeah, because that's what happens. It's not a guarantee if you're doing it blind.
Oh, God.
PK is at 1, so now you have to do it more blind.
Exactly. But I shouldn't. because that's not how God
Oh,
intended it.
Okay.
BT, Dauntless Odin 5648. I don't think Talmon Loop is going to be relevant in English. The deck shifted to using red base like Ancient Garu did in BT17, but the deck is still not very consistent. It had its best results in best of 1 events because they could high roll and not have to run it back. I think it's probably not going to be
true.
It's probably not going to be anywhere near successful because we're literally in a completely different format than Japan was when it was first came out.
But it's still gonna be
Like we have like 2 extra sets that they did not have whenever they started playing it.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I would even say Ruin needs to be hit wasn't even purely because of Tau Loop. It's just because of how generically oppressive it can be. But obviously Tau Loop abusing it. But
shut your mouth. Got it, Brandon.
Infinite Jexulus. The reason why I'm in favor of restricting trainings is because it has done several things. 1. Warped deck building such that you only run one color as much as possible, which shuts out decks that feature multiple colors from competing. Blame Bandai, not trainings.
Yeah.
That is a foolish argument.
That's their fault for printing Nature Spirits.
Yeah. 2. It can grab itself, which only further boosts its consistency since it's often the best option unless the other card is the exact card you're looking for.
Yeah.
It just gives you a second opportunity.
This is clearly someone who did not play in the early.
They didn't play with no moles, dude. They didn't play with no moles.
We are lucky we even got this far into this game's life cycle because you clearly never played in the early formats where you could literally brick so hard you could not play the game, and you had to sit there and watch your opponent kill you.
Yes.
Clearly, do you know how excited we were when we got mulligans, when we got red memory, or when we got memory boost, when we're like, finally, cards that can search that aren't just Digimon cards.
Yes, and even then, like in the early days, Digimon cards didn't even search. Like nothing you would actually wanted to add, usually.
It was
consistency cards are better for the game. It makes decks better. It makes your strategy better.
Yes.
Like when BT5 rolled around and Agumon and Gabumon both got searcher cards, there's a reason they were some of the best decks of the format at that point.
They weren't.
I literally can't tell you.
That didn't happen yet.
That did not happen.
I literally I literally can't I can't with this because it's like clearly this has got to be from someone who did not play in those
They did not play with no moles. There's no way.
Because it was so bad back then. If you drew your opening hand and it was not playable, you did not have a level 3 to play, it was so bad. I'm like serious. Like I'm surprised the game even survived through that.
Lots of people stopped playing because that was just so unenjoyable to just lose games like that. They just didn't play.
You literally couldn't play.
That was literally the dark times.
Yes.
It was literally the dark times. Like I pushed that out of my memory because I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, and it still happens sometimes, just way less often.
Trainings can add trainings. Oh my god, limit it, ban them. What?
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't. Yeah. I want to have everything have as much variance as possible, so I can just sack the absolute piss out of my opponents. That's
this guy doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, right?
No, yeah, dude. Everything searches every card in your deck always. Yeah.
Literally. I'm just gonna keep my deck face up. I'm going back in. That cool?
I'm going back in.
Yeah. Do I need to cut and shuffle that? No, I'm going back in.
I'm going back in. 3. It indirectly discourages having any Digimon out that can be interacted with, like Searcher or Floodgate rookies, which shuts out decks designed to interact with smaller Digimon at the early to mid game. That's a good thing because it's a bad thing sometimes to have things out, right, Brandon?
Yeah, no, it's awful. Turn 3. Level 4 on his first turn.
Yeah, I bricked.
Stupid.
3
again.
3 part 2. The 3 inning. It does the same thing as holding a stack and breeding, except now you just sit with a rookie in the back instead. It still the same results and reduce interactivity until you set up your immune protected Digimon and or an ace target that very turn, making decks play very linearly. Why push out a rookie from raising for chip damage when all that really does is put you 2 turns behind, those 2 turns meaning you're usually dead?
That's an awful...
What? I don't even understand what?
Hold on. So because I played the training, I'm not pushing out my level 3 because I'm waiting to use the training card?
Why would you push out a rookie in any deck to get a chip if it wasn't like a hybrid strategy or something?
Especially when Gallon X exists and you'll get punished for it.
You will get punished for it. To be clear, there are decks that don't run these that are still very good, but that's because they have engines that accomplish the same purpose through another method. BT14 Balmon being a prime example of this. This comment has 3 likes.
Comparing Balmon to the training cards is wild.
It is wild. Because of the immense amount of removal that is baked into every half-decent archetype, if you do try to play in the battle area and your deck isn't immune AF to basically anything, you're gonna lose.
I'm losing brain cells.
You're taking back shots.
Yeah,
I've only got a few left.
Like, why would you want to encourage decks that do not have the ability to be immune to be forced to play in the battle area and just get touched real hard by people with mass removal effects? Anyway.
Wild.
Why? Where did this training hate come from?
I think that person has been OTK'd from a Mirage player that just set up a few trainings in their area and then just promoted after a few turns and just killed them.
Yeah.
And they're like, trainings are the problem here. I lost to the trainings.
Not the cards that killed me. It was the trainings.
It was the trainings. B Dunback. Sean, stop trolling. Nume X can't come back. Also, Sean, I'm so mad that TK BT14 is to 1. Bring it back to 4. LOL. Yeah. Those are 2 completely different cards, first of all. One allows you to float a level 4 into a level 6 that then floats into level 5s. Completely different card. Anyway, bruh, you can't say no to one exploitable mechanic and then yes to another. I literally can, and I did. Get your gain 5 memory every turn BS out of here. Oh, this guy's using Brandon math too. Also, Sean Logic, Emissary Hope is the reason why the car was a problem. I don't think it was. I was trolling. Anytime I talk about Emissary of Hope, I'm trolling.
He's saying that. He says that because he doesn't play the card.
Yeah. I say it ironically.
Ban this card. It's the problem.
Yes, ban Emissary.
Sean knew the ban list was coming, and so he was messing with his Angels deck. He's like, okay, so Emissary's clearly going to 1. You know, maybe what's it called, the armor card, and he's just like, so he's changing.
I knew Awakening was going to 1. Like I was basically certain.
Yeah, he's like Awakening, Emissary, maybe like these cards get hit. Okay, so but I'll still have you looking at his 4 TKs.
The thought never crossed my mind. I never was like, I'll still have you. I was just like, I was literally like, I'll be mad if they hit Patamon, but Awakening should go to 1, and Emissary probably should go to 1 too. And then they were just like, hey, hit TK, screw you.
It's just Wolverine holding the photo, longingly looking at it. It's just 4 TKs.
Literally, dude. I got my playset of Vault Arts, dude. I picked them up when they finally bottomed out at like $5 a piece. I was like, I will collect these now. I'd hate to have spent $20 a pop on those bad boys. Well, maybe Promo Ukamon was a problem when it came to Nume X. You said with like it's all caps and like 8 million M's.
Bajillion M's.
Yeah, hold on to me. Okay, I'm not gonna wait for it to focus. Also, Coolboy missed 50% of your deck if you weren't playing Alpha back in those days, so that's not true also, LOL. Yeah, you don't play it in the decks where your best cards in the deck aren't the X Antibody line, obviously. I never played it in Black War X because it bot decked your best cards.
Yep.
Or Black War, I should say, not Black War X.
I didn't like playing it in Garu until we got EX5, where suddenly my X line was suddenly the best cards in the deck.
Yeah, if the best cards in your deck are not searched by Coolboy, you don't play Coolboy in the deck.
like Cool Boy. But if it's your best cards in your deck, you play Cool Boy.
Yes. Dareday 436. Honestly, as long as Louis and Promo Uko stay limited,
This guy again?
Yeah.
Yes. There's no problem with this coming back. Going second with Uko and the Tamer meant that you could attack for one memory with jamming. He's talking about Bukamon.
Bukamon, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I actually think Bukamon might come back in the not too distant future. I probably need to pick some up, because I'm sure they're going to skyrocket as soon as it gets announced.
Yeah, I've got 4 foils just sitting there.
I have 3 foils, but I need to buy a 4th. What's funny is I have 3 foils that just never sold. Like, I'm not holding them. They're just never sold. D Lacey 1895. Bandai design team needs to use different Digimon. I'm tired of seeing the same 20 Digimon. Card reveals have been way more exciting when they were new Digimon to the TCG. Hashtag gimme Chronomon.
I will say this, there are a lot. It's not like Pokemon where there's like only like, you know, like a 900 or something like that.
It's over
Digimon
1,000
has
now.
Barely. Yeah, I was about to say they're barely getting over 1,000 right now.
Okay. Yeah, like Digimon has a lot of Digimon they have not used. Like I'm very like we don't even have like all the Apollo Digimon yet.
You mean the Olympus?
Like, or the Olympus cards. Like,
I really want us to get an Olympus deck, because I think those Digimon are all cool.
Yeah, I
always
don't know
Greek and Roman
why.
mythology.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not. Like, I mean, maybe like the Pro Tag cards sell better.
I think
but, like,
that's probably the reasoning.
So
It's just crazy to me that they don't use a lot more of these Digimon. It's crazy because they have a lot to pull from.
I can tell you right now, it's 1,000% nostalgia bait. As somebody who is a ginormous Power Ranger fan, I can tell you right now, there's one season, and only one season, that gets continuous, non-stop support, and every other season doesn't exist. It's Mighty Morphin. You'll only ever see Mighty Morphin stuff. Every other season basically doesn't exist. Yep. Look at the helmet. I have the I'm bad about it too. I showed you guys the Dragon Dagger. I got all this crap over here in this corner. It's just, but that's just how it is. You have your nostalgic, like, original design stuff that sells the most. Dawn's Dragon Zord. God, that thing's beautiful.
Beautiful.
But it just sells. Like, Agumon is your cash cow. Like, you got to keep printing them.
That's not true. That's not true because
we've been in this card game for the last year and a half where we haven't gotten any good Agumons.
We haven't. Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't had a good Agumon deck in a minute.
They're doing it. They're doing it to the pro tags. Like we had a Greymon the card game. Then we had Imperial the card game. Now we're having Gallant the card game. Like, we're just gonna keep going through these cycles where it's gonna be the pro tags.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be their stuff.
We'll eventually get all of them, I'm sure. But yeah, I think part of the reason for the concentration is just sales. They're worried if they like release super obscure Digimon that people aren't gonna like walk past them and be like, "Oh, I remember that Digimon. I want to buy this."
Yep. It's
like they clearly want to push the protagonist and any of their new IP
stuff. Yeah.
Not IPs, but like the new, like the web comics and stuff like that. They're like, hey, we gotta push these.
Yeah. I know we're getting an Olympus deck at some point though, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Got to.
It's like,
I think it's gonna be in the same vein as like a Royal Knights or a Demon Lords deck.
And it will most likely be better than Demon Lords, which is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it'd be sick if they could trigger the on. If it's like basically a Mega Zoo deck, but it turns their Windage Evolving effects into on plays, because then you could play Venusmon.
Right.
No.
Sick.
No.
Only I get to play this Digimon card game. You do not get to play.
You don't have any cards to play.
Yeah. Raikaria 3090. Magnex should be hit from a game health perspective. It's a massive gatekeeper. So many decks simply cannot play the game against it. The fact it got hit hard and is still a top tier deck is bad. Also, look at immunity cards printed since. They're conditional. Bandai clearly are aware that Magnex is bad design. Magnex will not fall off. The same logic why Shonen Mother needs something done about it. A deck doesn't need to be tier 0 to justify a game health hit. Also, no way Protoform gets hit. It's getting a reprint. I mean, they've reprinted cards and then hit them, but...
Yeah. Also, Magnex is conditional.
Mommy
conditional.
Mommy doesn't have. Neither one of those decks has enough representation to warrant them getting hit. They're not holding out any other decks right now.
Yeah, I think once the Imperial version of it gets hit as well, it's just going to take a nosedive because it's only
That's not even
the armor version.
It's not even the representation.
That's not even.
We only see the armor variants
the armor,
in Top Cut.
Yeah, the armor variant's the one always sees tops anyway. So.
That's so odd.
Me and Sean we've talked about this as people, and I've played the armor version obviously without the flame Dramons, but we've seen a variant of that one top even without those cards.
Yeah,
I like the DNA version so much better because it feels way more consistent.
Yes.
Way more consistent. I can search out my pieces so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I kill my opponent very fast. Yes, I can't final Zubagon punch, blinding ray, blah 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 my opponent to death. But it just feels so much more consistent.
Pyodramon and stun their board and strip all their sources and swing for a billion times.
That deck just feels way stronger than that one, and I don't know why people don't play that one over that one.
I don't either.
It's crazy to me.
I think it only gatekeeps bad decks. I think like Brandon said earlier, you could have made an argument back when it first came out that it was gatekeeping basically anything that wasn't like the top like 3 decks, but that's no longer true. The only decks it gatekeeps aren't going to win an event anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you want to know why? Because there was a certain card, I won't say, that is dearly beloved by a certain person here. Where's Sean at?
Awakening?
No.
TK.
Mathabel 5236.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I know what he was talking about. I always find he was talking about Emissary of Hope. I always find extremely stupid how they limited Eismon to Digimon that had to die to draw 3 and trash 2, and they printed this that essentially did the same without needing to die, plus it gave you memory back just because. He's talking about Garu X.
That's why it got hit.
That is why it got hit. They were like, oh, we're dumb. I could see a future where Medieval Gallantmon could be hit mainly for green decks. Pretty much a lot of them starting to use it as their boss monster because it's the only good green boss monster. Plus, Shoto is a sort of mini engine. Some examples, Rabbits, either Alliance or Armor, use it. Vortex obviously use it. Leopardmon use it. Bloomwood use it. Any green deck that comes will use it, only with a handful being the exception. I don't think they should hit it now, but it's a card that sort of says if you green deck can't use it, then it's usually far weaker than any other green deck that can use it.
Tyrant's not using it.
You know what, guys? I think he's right. I think green is punching above its waist, right now. Just get back down there.
Wait.
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. What did I say?
Waist.
Wow, yeah. Punching above its weight. Clearly, green needs to be back on the bottom where it belongs.
It needs to get slapped down, yes.
Green is tier 0.
The best green deck out there that has any kind of chance of, competing is Tyrant, and guess what they don't play?
Medieval Gallantmon.
Medieval.
Yeah,
although they could play it, I probably would consider it because it does let you just suspend your stuff.
Yeah. You could play it, but most lists aren't. Maybe they are. I haven't seen recent lists.
Yeah.
But they already play so many level 6s. It would be hard for me to imagine them playing it. It would have to be more of an option card where it's which it kind of already is kind of I couldn't imagine digivolving into it because now you're getting away from your entire game plan.
Yeah, it's functionally an option card on legs like an Ace Digimon. It just doesn't have the overflow. I don't think it's ever going to get hit. I think it's working as designed. It is
everyone wanted Death X.
It's a comeback.
Look at that.
It's a comeback card, which was intentionally printed to be a comeback card, just like Death X was, which was never hit despite people complaining about it left and right. I think
you almost never see it get played anymore now.
Yeah, it's working as intended. It is a power creep to Death X, which is just a comeback card. Your opponent doesn't have anything on the field. It doesn't do anything. D. Lacey, 1895. Chris is cooked. Mom reveal and Know I Love You. Crazy work.
Right.
RDD48. Banlist episode. Let's go.
Hold on. let's get this fact out here first of all.
Okay.
That's also Brandon's mom, and he didn't say anything either.
She couldn't hear
Can't
him.
hear me, you dingus.
I could have told her though. If you'd have said, "Hey, Brandon's you could be like, "Oh, love you, mom." I'd be like, "Hey,
No.
Brandon loves you."
No.
No, you straight ignored her.
You were like, get out of here.
No.
Banlist episode, let's go. Perfect for Sunday laundry. By the way, I'm tired of a 3-for-3 secret card for starter deck support card. Rapid X Vortex Tie. It's always been like this. I started with the Aces starter.
No, it has
See,
not.
look at that. I bet
usually.
you hated that. Imagine that guy. He started with those decks.
And he's like, damn, these decks suck.
This card game is trash.
Hachiko42, thank you for being a channel member. Fun fact, Bolt Baltmon should actually be Volto Baltamon because he wears a face, Italian Volto, mask, Italian Balta. It's just been poorly transliterated / translated since they named him. Source Digimon Wiki.
That's
Fun.
funny.
That is a fun fact.
Oh, that poor dude. That one poor single guy locked in the basement.
The translation team.
Yeah.
Team.
Damien Carr 168, thank you for being a channel member. Numemon was dominant from BT15 until BT18 in Japan, which includes EX7 and EX6. That's 6 formats. It looks like Shadow Serafi was probably the breaking point for the deck, where they realized they legitimately couldn't print a strong yellow or black card without it being abused by Numemon and the deck got hit.
I will say, I read this and I thought what that deck would look like if we had. Now, I like to troll a lot. I did think about what that deck would look like right now if we had Shadow Serafimon and Medieval Gallantmon in that deck. And I gotta say, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it goes back to being
It
8's
looks
turbo.
pretty good.
Hey, look, you're dead.
It looked pretty good. Could you imagine? Because you could play 4 copies of Cherubimon Ace in that, and then you're playing out everything, man. Oh boy, that deck looks pretty good.
It do be looking good.
Thankfully, they hit it. That was the last one.
Unfortunately. Sweet, we're going on almost what 4 hours.
3:35.
Jeez.
Yeah, you have to cut out some of that because that was all Brandon's fault.
Yeah.
What was his?
All right, go.
I might cut it and just put it at the end.
Yeah. Bonus content.
Yeah, bonus content.
All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Brandon.
I need to go. I need to go eat some dinner.
I haven't ate today either. It's crazy. Or tonight, I guess. Anyway.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, that was fun, boys. Sean, I really hope we get paired up against each other. We're gonna be mommy versus mommy.
My mommy's gonna beat up your mommy. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, later.
Bye.
DK deserved it.